said it's wants poets and outlaws. I can relate to that. And I can relate to their attitude too in a word, dilly-gaff. That's spelled D-I-L-L-I-G-A-F, dilly-gaff. And it means, do I look like I give a fuck, dilly-gaff? Am I being direct enough, dilly-gaff? Just another way of saying I couldn't give a fucking rat's ass, mate. Do I look like I give a fuck, dilly-gaff? Your turn! Do I look like I give a fuck, dilly-gaff?
Right, evening everyone. I would have worn a horror mask, but yeah, I ain't got one. And I ain't wearing that all night. How is everyone? Glad you could join us. So, all horror fans I see, we've got a lovely panel here. 5 fantastic YouTubers, and then myself, who ain't a fantastic YouTuber. But yeah, I've got a nice green drink, some brains on top. So yeah, that's my evening drink. So you may be wondering who we've got on as guest tonight. So I see one of them has a mask on ready, so we're going to bring him on first. So first up, we have got some bloke from Saw. Here he is.
Howdy doody.
Saw or Ghostbusters, one or the other.
I'm sweating already. I only had this on for a couple of seconds. I gotta take this off.
I just see you put it on.
Oh, sweet Jesus. I'm breathing that thing. Oh, not too bad. Been enjoyed by my little guest today, though. Got Glenn with me. Replaced Billy that was here last time.
Oh, poor old Billy. Although you technically come as Billy, so it's a bit difficult to have him in the background as well.
Yeah, I couldn't have both. Couldn't have two, could I?
What a lovely drink you on tonight.
Well, I thought I had like anything 8% and above, but I found a 3.8 downstairs. But I'm not starting with that. I'm starting with this Took the Midnight Grain Imperial Stout of 13%.
Oh,
so,
good. Nice
seems like a
looking one.
good thing to start. It's scary to some, so especially recovering alcoholics.
Yeah. So got a few people here in the chat who's actually turned up tonight. So we've got Chris, Retro 48K. Good to see you. Sean, evening to you. James, Game Zone Birdroom, who you may see later on. Oh, the man who's come out of retirement is here. Gloriana, Scott, good to see you.
Man, that's strong.
Marcus, how are you? I take it you all come because you're all horror fans. I know this person definitely is. Chrissy, good to see you. Mr. Tapman is here. That UK gamer. Good to
I
see
better
you,
make
mate.
it clear that this is Chrissy's, not mine. I don't collect these things.
He just borrowed it for the evening. Right, so as I'm not really the best person to talk about horror, we've got some more people on. We've got Ross, who obviously likes his horror stuff. But we've got the man up who was a bit late to the party, who has actually turned up for once. He's looking a bit like Michael Jackson by the looks of it. He's just getting himself ready. Yeah, we have got Grave X-Core.
Oh, man, you're right. I thought I'd come in like workman suit, you know.
I thought that was the old Michael
Jackson. The lines.
Thriller.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be a Christmas ninja.
All right. What's
so
your
just like Mortal Kombat, eh?
Yeah. Well, I just look like I've come, like I'm doing my community service or something. Probably that's what I'm doing, isn't it?
What a lovely Halloween drink you on tonight?
Just the old beer.
The old
cheap
beer.
and nasty, you know.
Not bad, not bad. What's your excuse for being late to the party anyway?
Well, I'm bang on time. I don't know about late.
You missed the pre-talk.
Sorry, bud. Sorry. I thought I'd choose some games finally. Are we talking about games later?
We are. All night, pretty much.
Yeah, I thought I would get some ready for me. I can't remember what I've got now. I just did it in a rush.
I just dragged my shelves off onto the floor, pretty much.
I hope you got some weird and wonderful and some controversial stuff. That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
So we bring on our fourth guest. He's going by the name of Johnny tonight. So here he is. Here's Johnny.
Evening all. I must admit, Eddie's high-vis jacket looks really nice.
Yeah.
Al, if you could put your mask back on, that would be even better.
Shit, he's not wearing a mask. I thought he was wearing one.
I just look like this all the time.
I didn't want to start before you turned up.
Yeah, I was planning on turning up like with my t-shirt glowing because it's a knit t-shirt that glows in the dark. Turns out that the monitors I've got are too bright, so you're just gonna have to cope with this fucking horrific face.
We've had a couple of new people turn up. We've got Raz. Good to see you, Raz.
Mr. Tapman turned up. He thinks it's Swap Shop.
Yeah, he's on the wrong stream. He needs to go to the other one.
Well, we're trading, aren't we? We are trading games, aren't we?
Yeah, time to thumbs down. We love the thumbs down. Come on, get them thumbs down in.
If it was literally just trading horror games, that'd be like the priciest swap shop ever.
I've been looking at some horror games recently. It's like the most expensive genre, I think, around.
It does seem to have
RPGs probably
overtaken
close.
RPGs and shooters just recently for a strange, unforeknown reason.
Even shit ones are super expensive.
Here's
Most
another
of them
man,
are
like,
shit, though.
Yeah.
Good to see you,
I've
Sean.
got some shit here, I've got to tell you.
So Sean knows his horror, and he is very, very knowledgeable on horror films.
He is
I don't know why he's
indeed,
wanted me then. That's why I've got you lot on. Craig, good to see you. Right, so the next person we got on was a bit of, I don't know, he sort of like lost his internet connection just as we was about to start. Hopefully he's all right now. You may not recognise his background, but he's here. I can't pronounce what he's written his name as. Is that Kruger's?
Kruger,
Well,
as in
Freddy Krueger.
That's starting off well, isn't it?
Oh, no, that's why I've got you lot on it.
You've only had 2 sips and you can't pronounce things already.
I know.
I'm surprised he could pronounce Eddie's name, to be fair.
Yeah, that was a first timer as well.
Oh, it's easy. And here's Johnny. So you're come to tell us the Nintendo knowledge of horror games.
Oh yeah, really great knowledge of horror for Nintendo, the family-friendly Nintendo.
All one game of it.
Dylan sneaked in as well. We love them thumbs down. Get them in. Now, this is obviously known as the Horror 6, and obviously you can see there's 5 of us here. The last person has got his own theme tune, so let's start playing his own theme tune before we bring him in. There's been no spoilers. No one has told you who it is. We're going to bring him in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
People are going to be disappointed now when it's just me and Michael Myers.
I'm telling you, if you should have really gone with the Eric Bischoff "I'm Back" theme tune, that would have been
The Backstreet Boys. I can do the dance.
Have to get a bit of horror songs in there. So anyway, Mark, how have you been? These people might not know who you are.
Well, all you guys know that I'm just getting married on Thursday, so I'm still just recovering from that, really.
Congrats, dude.
And we get
Thank you very much.
for Mark, just being married.
I'm playing.
How is
instead
your
of-
latest pickup of your wife? And have you done a first thoughts and you're going to do a 50 hours in and a final thoughts on married
What,
life?
An unboxing.
Oh,
I'm back.
Not an unboxing, no.
the problem is, I'm just getting Sturmfront and Deathloop, so I've been spending more time with them than I have with her since I got married. So I can tell you more about them than her, to be honest.
Lots of congratulations coming in for you, Mark. People happy to see you back.
yeah. Nobody's come here to see us. It's just Mark. Everybody wants to see Mark back.
Yeah, right. So
I think they must have known I was coming back with all the dislikes.
yeah. Since I've been planning this horror thing, I've been bugging Mark for a while. So thank you for coming on, Mark. I know you don't like doing YouTube, but thank you for being here.
Well, Retro 48K, he's doing a premiere that's starting now that I was really looking forward to watching, so I'll have to watch that tomorrow now.
Very sorry about that.
Wasn't he in the comments a second ago? I'm sure.
Yeah, he was at the start. Yeah, he's obviously run off now.
Cool.
I've only just noticed that someone in the comments called Purple Aki.
Purple Aki, yes. I forgot all about Purple Aki. It's so 2012.
You boys making a statement, yeah. A horror statement because it's Halloween, yeah.
Seb's there as well. I know Seb wanted to make sure you were all right, Mike.
Oh, yeah, well, I saw his video and I saw a few nice comments off certain people.
Some nice comments, yeah.
Yeah.
He was worried about you. But
He's a good bloke, Seb. I've still been watching everyone. I've just not been commenting.
So I take it you've all got your piles of games ready to talk about.
Shit, weren't we supposed to bring games?
It's Swap Shop, isn't it?
I just want to state now that none of us are swapping these games. We're talking about them and showing them. That's all.
If you want to see swaps, go to the Swap Shop panel.
Unless someone shows Silent Hill Shattered Memories for the PS2, I'll swap for that. I'll have that off them.
You swap his virginity for that.
Oh, it's too far away. Can't reach it.
It was right in front of me. I was going to pull it out, but
I don't have it, so I can't.
You've got multiple ones to choose from as well, haven't you, Ross?
I got the whole set. Bring them all out.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Eddie, you mentioned Obscure the other night, and you said you'd swap it to the PS2 version. I already have it on the Xbox. I completely forgot about it.
I've been looking forward to playing that for ages, and I thought I got a cheap copy for the Xbox. I thought, fuck it, I'll just play it on there.
Yeah, it's
and
definitely not.
It doesn't work on 360.
No.
Right,
very few games work backwards compatible for the 360 as well.
Yeah, so as this is a horror stream, I've told each of these people to pull out a few horror games that they like from their collections. And I've got a few here. I can't say whether I've played much of some of them, but yeah, I've got a few to talk about. So, shall I start with one?
Go for it.
And work our way round to the right.
You're the boss.
So, I thought I'd start with the older ones first. So I've got a SNES game. Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Never heard of it.
No.
What's it like?
It's a side-scrolling 2D run and gun style game with a spear, whatever you want to call it.
At least you're not just sat there in your boxer shorts to give a representation of it.
I normally am after about a minute, so yeah.
I've completed the Mega Drive one. The Super Nintendo one's harder.
Yeah,
it's that double jump is very awkward to try and master, but I did do it. I did it a few years ago. Eventually, fucking hell, it took me a while.
So, where would you rate this in one of your favorite horror games? Best one on the SNES?
Is it really a horror game?
Well, that's what we're asking.
Well,
yeah, I consider it.
You tell us why you think it's a horror game.
Because it's about ghouls and ghosts, and they come out at Halloween. It's a horror game.
So, I don't know about you guys. Have you heard a new term that seems to be getting really popular called spoopy? It's like spooky with an extra P. I've been putting in the comments recently quite a lot. But that's like the envisionment of what spoopy is. It's that sort of comical horror look. And since I found out about this spoopy, it's like I've been addicted to it. Everything's fucking spoopy. But yeah, Ghouls and Ghosts is to me, it's that embodiment of that comedy, cartoony, horror, where it's it's when you look at it, it's not scary, but it's sort of Halloween-y, horror themes. And do you know what I mean? It's the opposite of total fright horror.
It's what
Scooby-Doo.
So a bit like Ghostbusters then, in a way.
Or a bit like Michael Jackson's Thriller, although that's pretty scary when you figure that Michael Jackson's in that. So.
It's got a second version of scariness come through later on.
I thought Michael Jackson was here tonight until he stood up.
I assume that's you, Eddie. To be
I
fair,
think
Eddie's
I thought that
some guy with a plastic nose is going to jump on him.
In the waistcoat, he looks more like he's been collecting the trolleys at Tesco's.
I'm doing
I
my
wish it
bit for the
game was
community.
Eddie Murphy.
I'm doing my bit for the community. I'm helping out sweeping leaves and all sorts.
Good question here
That's
from
why you
Sean.
can't come game hunting with us, because you're only on day release. We understand now.
That's why I've only just got in here now.
So, is it better than Ghosts and Goblins?
No idea. I know Super Girls and Goblins, but Girls and Ghosts, but I don't know Ghosts and Goblins.
It's pretty much the same sort of game, but different.
Fair enough.
I don't actually have enough history with the series to comment on.
You've got to mention Maximo and Army and Zen as well, because they're both fantastic 3D, hard as nails platformers. That obviously on the PlayStation 2 that carried on. They're both fantastic, them ones.
It is a shame that we've not really had anything more.
Sorry, Eddie, what did you say?
It's a shame we've not had any more since Maximo. Maximo was like the last hurrah. I know we got the HD remake version, but that just looks horrible. Have you seen it?
I've not played it. I've seen it. It's all that. It's like that Finnegan Fox on the Amico. They've completely changed the look of it, haven't they? You know, with like, yeah, it doesn't look very good.
I think they made it
Wasn't
look
there
a
a
bit like
PSP
Peter-Pan.
remake as well?
Which one?
Or am I swear I've seen a collection of it. It's on a collection on the PSP, and it's slightly like bumped up to make it look a bit shit now. But they tried to improve it.
Yeah. Super Goals and Ghosts. Yeah.
Apparently, a sequel. Yeah, I didn't know. I don't know.
Yeah, so that's the third one in the series. Al, it's good. It's good. It's just bloody hard.
I just enjoy them style games. The old 2D platforming, side scrolling. You could call it a beat 'em up, I suppose.
What's the main character called? He's called Sir something, isn't he?
Arthur.
I don't know. And by the time he
Yes.
died, he's got a pair of pants on.
Yeah, I know.
That's like a spiritual successor, Al.
Yeah. That looks like it's going to cost a lot.
No, it's really good. Curse Castilia, if you like Ghouls and Ghosts or Ghosts and Goblins, whatever, that is the best, like, true success. There's Princess Madeline as well, but that's not, it doesn't quite feel the same because you kind of like, it's like Ghouls and Ghosts, but like Metroidy. So it kind of like breaks that feeling of it. But yeah, that is a fantastic game, that one.
The PSP one.
Castilia free on the UU when it came out. I seem to remember playing it.
You might be the only person that bought an Ouya.
I know, and I paid full price as well. I was just gutted.
I've only just found out there's a PSP game. I'm going to be looking it up.
Do you still have the Ouya, Steve?
No, I traded it in for a tenner.
Oh, you should have kept it. It's like the perfect emulation box now.
I know. I did use it for emulation and downloaded all the ROMs and Under the Sun, and then I had nothing to play because I had every game possible.
Well,
Yeah,
It's not heavy enough to use as a paperweight, is it?
You're being called out here, Steve.
I mean,
Even Mr. Bear.
talking about that, can we just acknowledge where he's actually at? He's in a games room. Bloody hell, what's going on?
It's green screen.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, his neighbour's a collector.
He's moved it all to his bedroom. His missus is really getting the up now.
No, it came from the bedroom. She's well pleased it's left.
She's really pleased because he got her a decking. That's why she's really pleased.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
he was making room for that swing that Jim showed the other day.
Oh, another controversial question here.
Why use IV and then 3? I assume that's how it's actually with the game, rather than fair play.
And Castlevania 4 is actually just a remake of Castlevania 1.
Yeah.
I think
Kind of. It is, but it isn't.
I'm going to be
Well,
controversial
it's
here.
not
I really don't get the whole Castlevania love. It's okay, but I don't get why everybody loves it.
How can you kick him out?
Did you
please?
play it when it first came
Press
out?
that ban button, please.
Mr. Bear has a question for you, Steve.
It's green screen, honestly. There's nothing real behind me.
No, that was my first game for this, which I don't know much about, but I'm sure Ross is going to come on with a belter now.
Oh, I wouldn't say about her. I don't even have a copy of it to show because I wanted to buy it off you, Al, but you'd already sold it to some other asshole. So, well, I was thinking of old games which had a horror theme that I used to play, and the first one that came to mind was Maniac Mansion on the NES.
Ah,
Bastard.
There you go.
Put that back.
That same arsehole bought it. I wanted to buy it as well. He's a cunt.
I have to pick something else now.
It's not even the best version of it, but everyone wants it.
It's really
Yeah,
censored. They've took all the Playboy stuff out and that, haven't they? On the NES version.
Yeah, you can't put the hamster in the microwave either.
No, you can put the hamster in the microwave, and that's the only thing that they never took out. So they took
I
out
swear
the
it doesn't
nudity.
pop. It pops in the original version.
I'm sure that's the only thing that they left in, which is the worst thing that they left in.
It tells you can't do it. So I always thought it was odd that you could put it in, it doesn't do anything. It says something like you can't turn it on.
I might be wrong.
I can't remember.
What's the
I
game
don't
on
know, but
Xbox?
yeah.
Ross, what's the game on Xbox One? Where they've got a section on it where you go back to do that and you put the hamster in.
What, Day of the Tentacle? You can play it, can't you?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
You played all of Maniac Mansion on Day of the Tentacle as well.
Yeah.
And it's the proper version of it as well, not the watered down one. Yeah, it's just
To
a
be
little
honest,
point and click.
I don't
can't get into it. It's too slow for me.
For point and clicks. I love point and click adventures. They're brilliant.
It was my first introduction to them, to be honest. I borrowed it off a mate, wondering what the hell this is, and it took me ages to realise it had a mouse cursor on it when I was playing it on the NES. trying to find the pixel perfect bits to lift that doormat to get into the fucking house.
You
No,
see,
I
I've
just really enjoyed it, and
times after what people have said, but it's just too slow for me. So what makes it so good then?
I like the fact that every different character it's got different puzzles that they've got to solve. There's loads of replayability to it. Because I was wondering, is it a horror game? Because it's set in a mansion and it's got a few monsters and stuff like that. But I was debating whether it is a horror game or not.
I consider it's a horror theme to it. It's a bit dark for an NES game. It's a bit spooky, isn't it? Oh, spoopy. There you go. It could be a spoopy game.
Well, it's that sort of Scooby-Doo horror, isn't it? It really is. It's like that murder mystery kind of thing.
For me,
yeah,
it's,
I just always.
Sorry,
it's just because back then I was blown away with just different combinations and different responses you get because I didn't play that many point and clicks at that point in time. So
was it the
I
NES
just really
one
enjoyed
that you
it.
played first?
Sorry?
Did you play the NES one first then?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Because it was through Day of the Tentacle that I even heard about it, just because I went on Ted Edmondson's computer and I was like, oh, there's another game on here. But then I was like, I just kept turning it off because it was just so slow.
I just had a mate that had so many NES games and we just randomly pick them out and it had, I don't know, the cover had that kind of weird kind of cartoony spookiness to it. I was like, oh, I've got to play that. That looks good. I was remember getting addicted to the music on it and the intro and stuff. And I was like, I really like this. And I've yet to buy it. When Al put it up saying he had it for sale, then it disappeared.
Yes, I believe we're a record thumbs down now. I believe we're for one of our streams. I think we're stupid amounts. Somebody's just mentioned.
Lovely. Come on, keep them going. Let's get more.
Can I just ask a quick question? Marcus has just messaged me privately. Can I ask the panel what's the scariest minge that they've ever seen?
Well, yeah, I saw that picture of Blue Waffle when people were mentioning it and you weren't supposed to Google it. It's quite scary.
It's not real though, apparently.
Yeah, it's part of it. Yeah.
I don't know. I've only seen scary ones on the internet, ones that hang down like bat wings. With a bit of a fuzz to them.
Who was the one who posted that one in the group the other day? That was pretty scary.
Yeah, that's the scariest one I've seen.
Oh yeah, that bat was a Batman or something like that.
We'll give it
your now. That to look like a fruit bat.
You're now reformed, Mark. What's the scariest minge you've ever seen?
I went with this girl in America, and she looked like the Predator. And like she had the dreadlocks and stuff like that. She was called Fifi, and she generally lived in a trailer park and like in where were we? Kings Bay, like near Florida, and it looked just like that.
Scary one.
Yeah, it looked just like that. It was horrible. I think like her lips went down to her knees. They were banging off her knees. Oh, it was awful.
Just don't suck in too hard, or else it'll just go to the back of your neck.
I still
It's
smashed
a
it.
bit of a turkey's neck where it's flapping about.
Oh.
Caught on your tonsils. But yeah, have you ever watched that film called Teeth?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
saw it in the
brilliant.
cinema.
Yeah. God. It was actually at the cinema, was it? I didn't even know
Yeah.
that. I watched it
Yeah,
when it first came to DVD.
Me and my weird mate went and saw it. It was literally just me and him. And like we came out and you want a date or something? So, yeah.
You and Al went and watched it, did you, Ross? Because he's definitely a weird man.
I was going to say, Ross is a weirder friend than someone like Ross.
The one time I've been in the pictures by myself with my mate, we were in the Lake District on holiday, and we went to see what was that Sarah Michelle Gellar one that came out in the 90s, where with the girl and she wanted to sleep with her brother.
Cruel Intentions.
Yeah.
Cruel Intentions. And because we knew it was going to be a bit dirty, we sat away from each other. And when we both left, we both said, "Did you?" And we both went, "Aye." We both just banged one out. And the pictures made me mate watching Cruel Intentions. I'll never forget that. I was only like 15, 16.
I'll tell you another movie that a weird horror movie about creepy things. There's have you ever seen Bad Biology? It's about a woman who's born with, I'd say, like 8 clitorises or something, and she's got this insatiable lust to fuck everything. And her idea is like, it comes down to she needs to fuck God or something in her head. But she finds this guy with a steam-powered fucking machine, and his dick falls off, and it goes on a rampage, like breaking through skirting boards, attacking people and stuff.
This is an important question.
And there's a weirder person around than Ross.
I've got one downstairs called One-Eyed Monster. It's about Ron Jeremy's dick killing people.
Can I just say, Marcus is coming out of all the good questions tonight.
What did Fifi's arsehole look like? Oh, I don't think I went near that. I'll tell you one about my brother, though. My brother was smashing this last, and he was just about to take a doggy, and he says he just like spread the cheeks just to like slide it in, and he says she had like a hairy arse, so he just stopped and went, "Get out my fucking house." I'll
You'd
never
have to give
forget
him a
that.
yank, wouldn't you?
Yeah, just get out my house.
Fucking.
Oh,
Don't Sleep in the Woods Tonight 2 on Netflix. I will have to watch that one.
Chrissy's got one we haven't watched yet called Don't Fuck in the Woods. I haven't watched that yet, though.
Is that is that the Polish film with like the big boily people? Because I think I watched the first one of that the other day. It was quite good.
Oh.
Yeah, if it is the same, I don't know. It was all right. That's all I can say. Do you know what? I'm actually enjoying like the more foreign films at the moment. Like the European films are actually kind of like traditional horror films, whereas now they're all like artsy fartsy things where you fall asleep after the first hour before.
I watched like a foreign one not long ago called Taxidermia. It's just weird. It turns out that it's a guy who, I'll tell at the end if I say it. But it starts with a guy sitting in a bath in like Russia with lighting the end of his dick on fire. It's like a real strange movie. It's all about eating contests and weird shit.
Lighting your dick on fire is a new way of sounding, I guess. But
yeah, it just looks like he's got like a little lighter, and he like sets it off like, I don't know, flamethrower, like something like Rammstein.
I bought an Iranian American film. I mentioned it in VHS bootleggers comments the other day. A girl walks alone at night, I think it's called. It's like a Iranian black and white vampire. Yeah. It was supposed to be fantastic. I really need to. That's why I bought it. Somebody mentioned it to me. It looks amazing. I would imagine somebody like Horatio has probably seen it, if I'm honest.
I don't understand how we started talking about Maniac Mansion onto
Yeah,
this.
I blame Mark.
It was Marcus.
I blame him because he's supposed to be the boss and he's not keeping everybody in check.
That's it. Yeah. So, anyone else got anything to say about? Was it Maniac Mansion?
I've got one thing to say. Did you know there's it's either an Easter egg or a mystery in it that's never been solved? On the NES version, there's a little keypad that you can get on one of the walls, and no one's ever worked out. There's no code for it. It doesn't do anything.
Really?
And no one knows what it is.
Next mission.
Go on,
So-
right. Next mission, we're going to do it by Christmas.
Yeah.
Every button pressed.
I can't know. I sold the game to Mark.
Actually, there is a.
I didn't buy that off you.
Didn't you? Who did I sell it to?
I don't know. You didn't sell it to me. I've had it a couple of years.
Are you sure you still not got it?
Someone had it.
It wasn't me.
But yeah,
It might-
did you know?
It might have actually been me. It might have been me. I can't remember what's
Somebody
actually
showed it in the pickup.
Yeah,
So it
you
probably
got
is
it, Paul.
cool.
Yeah, I thought Paul's got it.
So yeah, did you know there's a TV show for it? Maniac Mansion got a TV show in America, and it was like dreadful because it was like nothing like the actual game.
Pete just did a video on it, didn't he?
Seen it.
Yeah.
Pete on a retro trip just did a video on it. It was really good.
Pete's videos are phenomenal. The guy's, his stuff's phenomenal.
You can find the episodes on YouTube because I went and watched a couple after I watched his video. It is really bad.
He puts time and effort into stuff, unlike us that tried to think of games we played like 20 years ago and try to remember what they were like.
Yeah. Well, at least you played it. Al's just showed a game he's never played. It's his favourite SNES horror.
I've played it, but I've never got past the first level because I keep getting him in pants and iron.
There's ghosts, it must be horrific.
Anyway, Steve wants the Halloween basement tour live.
The thing is, there's no signal down there. Asked Dylan.
You can ask him, but you don't get a reply.
There you go.
James is awake. Good to see you, James. Keith, good to see you as always. Right, so it's your turn, Eddie. What have you got?
I don't know. I just picked up loads of random games that looked a bit scary. So no, the first one I'm going to talk about. I've not got it to hand because there is no physical for it, unfortunately, and you can't actually play it now. It's that scary. You can't play it now. So that might give it a clue to some of you guys.
Is it
PT,
Flappy Bird?
the PT playable trailer. Fuck me. I was scared playing that in the daylight. Honestly, there is something about that game that, well, I say game, it's a demo, isn't it? That like is proper freaky. I think as well at the time when you was playing it, it actually felt like you was in an actual real house. The graphics were just like that crazy good at the time. But the thing is, it does this thing that like really good horror games do, where it's like you kind of loop around doing the same thing over and over again. But then you notice like really small changes. I was playing a game like that last night called Blair Witch, and you go into this house and it's all you're basically wandering the same halls, and you're like, have I been here before, or should I go somewhere else? And but then you find out there's like other bits happening.
I was going to show that, but I didn't because I didn't have a physical. But I do have the PS4 that it's on still. So
I was gonna do that, but I thought, I can't be asked. But yeah, like it honestly, it is the scariest thing I've ever played. And if like Silent Hill would have carried on in that sort of same vein, that would have been absolutely pant pissing fucking scary. Honestly, I would have loved that to have happened.
the actual game wouldn't have been like that, though, would it? Completely.
Totally not. But
the way they released it was so that it was so cryptic that the community had to come together, like from around the world, to solve it. Which they still never completely solved it. They've got a few ideas. There's one step that they think triggers the end of it, but it just kind of works.
I thought someone did it in like 2 hours after it got released.
It was done really quickly, but using like the community to work it out. Because it's like take 4 steps forward, turn 5 back or something. You've got to do at one point to trigger an event and things. But
yeah, when you go into that bathroom and then things have changed, it's like, fuck me, guys, just shit myself.
the scariest thing about that is, have you ever seen someone who's hacked the camera of it?
No.
You know, like, is it Lisa, the woman who appears? She's continually walking behind you the entire time.
Oh, really? Fuck.
Yeah.
That would be freaky. Yeah. Well, that's it. The Japanese horrors, they're always things that are like things tapping behind your head or something like that. Just like really small scrapes or something. And like, what was it? The Grudge Ju-on, where like they're having that shower and then someone goes like this behind the head, like touches the head. And like, oh my God, I couldn't have a shower for that. Like about a month. Like, honestly, like it's like really small things like that really gets into my head and freaks me out.
So now a lot of people have things with hair, like when they start pulling hair out their throat and stuff. I always have a nightmare that I'm pulling hair from between my teeth and it never ends, and it gets down to like nerve endings. It's fucking weird.
Having this fucking thing is fucking horrible because obviously hairs come off of the bastard beard and they end up in my mouth, and it's just, especially with the masks, it's horrible as fuck. You end up, I have really bad gag reflex. There's no way I could ever suck a cock. And
if we get drunk enough,
I end up nearly like vomiting several times because of the amount of fucking hair that comes off my beard into my. Sorry, I just clocked Dana's comment. But yeah, the amount of hair, it's just horrible.
That's a nice tangent there, cocksucking, eh?
I can't do it.
Didn't see that coming.
Physically can't do it. My
PT
throat doesn't let me.
PT, penis tickling.
So before we move on, can you explain to everyone what you're wearing? Because a lot of people have come in late.
I've just come off my youth training service for being a naughty boy. For being a troll in the community, I've had to go and like sweep leaves for 2 months. Hence why I've not been on YouTube for a while. Is that too much? Is that noise?
So, has anyone played PT other than Eddie and Rostin?
Nope.
I was away with work when it came out, and I never actually got to download it or play it. I think it goes for like £1,000 or something stupid, doesn't it? The console, if it's still on.
Yeah,
it's dropped down to about 400 now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but if you've got a PC powerful enough to play it, somebody made a completely and utterly like faithful recreation of it in I think it's Unity they made it in, and it's exactly the same.
Well, someone was going to be making a game based on that, wasn't it? What was it called?
Allison Road.
Allison Road. Yeah. But yeah, that would have been amazing, but for some reason it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Somebody on this panel was going to be learning the Unity engine, weren't they, Ross?
I got drunk too much and forgot to continue. I'll get back to it. I made a maze.
Right, moving swiftly on from that. What have you got, Paul?
Me?
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be last.
Nah, not last.
Oh. So I've gone for PlayStation 1 horror game. Now, everybody would expect me to pull out the same zombie bullshit, but no, I pulled dinosaurs out. Dino Crisis is the best PlayStation 1 horror game. End of.
I'm sure some people can argue that on here, but
I'd agree, but I played it on Dreamcast first.
It is a lot harder than Resident Evil, I think. It's a lot stingier on ammo and stuff like that. It's a lot more survival horror.
Plus, the dinosaurs are much faster than the zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for me as a kid, Jurassic Park was more, obviously, because Jurassic Park's a PG-ish film. I think it is a PG. So seeing the dinosaurs and having dinosaurs in a horror game is just phenomenal. Even though they are like super duper, and Dino Crisis, everything in Dino Crisis, what Resident Evil did, Dino Crisis just took and put dinosaurs there. But I still massively prefer Dino Crisis over Resident Evil.
There's something I always thought was weird with Dino Crisis. I liked it, but you know, You know, at the end of a Resident Evil game, when you get down into like the labs and you kind of like just always walk around the same kind of area, there was too much of that in Dino Crisis. I thought it felt like you were walking around at the end of a Resident Evil game with dinosaurs. But I really, really liked the game. So yeah, they took the bit.
He's took it off.
Now he's going to Christmas
Now he
t-shirt.
just looks like he's on a Christmas stream.
Oh, I've got a bad comment here for you, Paul.
Fair enough. Everybody, but I bow to Horatio's horror knowledge because his horror film knowledge is phenomenal. Shame his horror game knowledge is bollocks, but that's besides the point.
I really like
Dino Crisis 3 then. Your Xbox exclusive.
So it's a strange one. It's not in the same vein as the first two. There's more action-y elements to it than horror puzzle. I think, at least I find that there's less. You know how in the Resident Evil games, there's a lot of the puzzle elements as well as the horror elements. Dino Crisis 3 really doesn't have that puzzle element that the other games have. At least for me, anyway.
I found the second one quite arcadey, to be honest. The second Dino Crisis, because it had a combo meter and stuff like that. So they started moving that way with the series quite early on, didn't they?
They give you tons of ammo in the second as well, don't they?
It's years since I played the second one. I played the first one recently. That's why I pulled it out. I was going to pull out Blood Omen, given Al's rules. I didn't pull Blood Omen out because it would have been ideal for me to pull Blood Omen out, given my love for the game. And to me, it does have horror elements, even though it's not a horror game. It's more of an RPG.
We should add a rule like you've got to beat the first level in the game you pick. How many games I would have got?
I didn't even know there was supposed to be rules. What's this rules thing?
As soon as they take a series, like a grounded series, they move it into space, it starts to get a bit shit. Like
No,
Jason X was in space.
phenomenal. How dare you? Jason X was phenomenal.
No, it wasn't.
It was fucking amazing.
No.
Well, that's
The Leprechaun went to space
Jason
as well,
X
didn't he?
of Dino Crisis, isn't it, really?
Has anyone played Chaos Break on the PS1?
No, I've just owned it like you.
No,
I've never played it. Ross, I'm
Never
looking
dropped
at
enough
Ross.
money to buy it.
No. Also, Cole has said that you'd sound a lot better without the gravel in your throat.
Sorry, it's too much cock.
That's definitely not me.
Jonathan's really going for it. It's really hard, apparently. So this brings me to my first question of the night.
Oh, for
Who do
fuck's
you think
sake.
makes?
Quiz?
What's that? No, it's not
Quiz.
it's not a quiz.
You're supposed to be on the quiz, not us.
It's not a quiz. The question to debate: who makes better horror games, Capcom or Konami?
Capcom overall.
Evil, so Capcom.
Konami if
Okay,
there's Team Silent.
Well, to be honest, Konami Silent Hill is the most horror of all horror games, I think. It really is.
Oh.
And there's also the one that kind of transitions into cinema better than Resident Evil. Although, if you take Resident Evil films as a standalone away from the games, the films are reasonably okay.
It depends again. Going back to it, do we class Ghosts and Goblins? Do we class Devil May Cry? Because are they horror games? Would you put them into the brackets as well? Do you know what I mean? It's not just Resident Evil and Silent Hill. There's other ones you could put in there. So it's.
Al hasn't thought about that though, Mike.
Oh. He's not supposed to think about it. He's asking us to think about it, isn't he?
Yeah. Overall, even though Silent Hill is my favourite, I would say Capcom just because of the amount of great games that they've got. It's like I prefer Sonic, but I know Mario's a better series.
No, we've got one Konami in the chat. Is anyone else in the chat voting for?
It's not Capcom versus Konami. It's Capcom versus Team Silent. Because after Team Silent stopped, they went shit. So.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of the whole gamut of them all, you would have to go Capcom, like Mark's saying. If you factor in Devil May Cry, and if you factor in like Ghouls and Ghosts and stuff like that, you would have to go Capcom because of. I mean, I bow to every other people's arcade like knowledge, but I imagine there's some certain horror games on the arcade or horror inspired arcade games that Capcom produced, and Konami, from my knowledge, didn't really do many arcade games. So Capcom have been going a lot longer and have done a whole raft more of games.
There's a Silent Hill arcade.
We'll train you about the old Konami stuff. Don't worry. No. I mean, to me, Capcom and Konami, it's been that age-old like battle, hasn't it, really? But yeah, horror games, it all boils down to Resident Evil or Silent Hill. It really does, because that's just the peak of all horror games that they all made.
Yeah.
And but with what Eddie's saying there, you would have to then say Konami, because Silent Hill is the truest horror out of the two.
Well, if you look at
without Resident Evil 1, you wouldn't have Silent Hill. That was made because they wanted a Resident Evil game. So it's impossible for me to answer, really.
Silent Hill is my favourite series, but if you boiled it down to the both, if you look at the amount of games they've released and the ones which were good and the amount of them were good, Capcom still win it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
The first Resident Evil changed the game. Resident Evil 4 then changed the game again. And then Resident Evil 7, it took all this first-person view, and it was the best one out of, Outlast and all them. It perfected that. So you can't look past Resident Evil for me.
There you go.
It's the premiere. So Resident Evil is the highest-grossing horror game series. It's also the highest-grossing video game film series as well. There's no other. I think it's the highest grossing zombie film series as well. So you can't look past Resident Evil for me. Like Mike said, but I go with what Eddie's saying. Silent Hill is the truest horror out of the two.
Well, going to that with Resident Evil, you could argue Resident Evil kickstarted The Walking Dead, all them TV. It brought zombies back into the fold, didn't it? Big time. Because I think the last big film was 1990 when they did the remake of Night of the Living Dead with Tony Todd. That was the last.
The Dawn of the Dead remake with Victor.
No, they did a remake of Night of the Living Dead first with Tom Savini directed it in 1990. Then in 2002, I think they did the Dawn of the Dead remake.
Yeah, so sorry, you were saying when they brought the zombie back. So what was Res Evil 93,
96? So I think that kickstart, because the zombie craze really just went massive, didn't it? All the way into the 2000s, and I think that was because of Resident Evil. It's got such a big scope in pop culture.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's probably why there's a lot more horror games once the PlayStation 1 come out than before it.
Where they could really
technology
make film sort of style game, because there is horror games before then. There really is. I mean, there's like Splatterhouse and stuff like that. But are they a horror game or are they horror themed games?
That's just for Glory Hunter's comment. I've not played it, so I didn't want to pull it out as a horror game because I've not played it.
It's not a remake. It's a reimagining of the first Siren.
The Siren games.
Yeah.
Yep.
The first Siren game written by most of Team Silent.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. That's what they did, because Silent Hill 2 was written by a slightly different team than Silent Hill 1. So, like, the directors of Silent Hill 1 split off to make Forbidden Siren.
I think John's right as well. I think Capcom did do the Dead Rising series, which are really good games for what they are.
It's just a time limit. Does my fucking Sweden?
They got rid of it for 4, didn't they?
Yeah,
It took them 4 attempts to get rid of it. Yeah, any game with a time limit or a time frame sort of like gameplay element really kills it for me. And the problem is, a lot of horror games do that. There is something about horror games and that inclusion, because I can see why it's there, because it gets you
gets your blood pumping to
worried about things like that. But then the thing is, then it just breaks the game if you get too far and you know you can never recover from it.
I find time limits scarier than anything else. I'm a procrastinator.
What's James mentioning there? I assume this is in the. I've got the comments at the side.
That one, the haunting game. On the Mega Drive.
Guy.
That's another one I was going to show.
And when EA was actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
You can actually get that quite cheap on the PSP, you know, Haunting.
Oh, I didn't even know it came out on the PSP.
So it's on the EA Classics pack. It's like, PSP are quite famous for like having a lot of like collections.
Yeah.
There's one with all just Mega Drive EA games, and Potter Guy is on that. Get it for about £4.
Oh, I'll be picking that up. eBay as soon as I finish this.
Right, we're going to get some Nintendo thoughts now.
Oh,
Steve's just sitting here for the fun of it. He's going to talk to us.
Also, you can now reassure Woodland that you're not dead, Steve.
No. It's because I'm watching Swap Shop in the background.
Oh,
Swap Shop on?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, there's 7 people on it, so I'm assuming Retro Chef's funded StreamYard as well, because he doesn't actually have the StreamYard logo either.
We still got the StreamYard logo on this one, so.
Oh, you cheapskate.
I know.
We've been going 55 minutes and you wanted to do 7 generations of consoles.
I'm still sitting here with a pile of games. Ross has got about 30.
I'm on annual leave all next week. There's some road trip happening or something out.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, we'll just do this for the rest of the week.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think there's 4 people on this panel that might be meeting up in that week. I can't think of who they are.
I've been in the pub all afternoon. I'm hanging like anything right now. So.
Well, come on then. Tell us about some horror games you got in your Nintendo collection.
Well, it's very kind of you to invite me on and then not tell me the rules. So
we had to change them for you.
Yeah, right. So I came completely unprepared because I was going along the Halloween type theme and not the horror. And knowing Nintendo is family friendly, there's not a lot of horror to choose from in the early stages. So I've gone for an RPG, completely different, but with elements in it. So I've shown this before, Illusion of Time. It does have cannibalism and suicide in it, so I thought it might be slightly on the horror related. So
slightly on the family.
You made that game really dark now.
I've never heard of this game before, so tell us about it.
So it's an RPG. It's made by, I'm going to tell you now off the top of my head. It's either Square or Enix. I can't remember which one.
Enix?
No, it's one or the other before they merged. So, it's a time travel based game where you go to different areas of the world and solve puzzles. But you meet some guy and he gets in an argument and sets himself on fire and runs off to commit suicide. And there's another bit where you get caught by cannibals where they're trying to eat you. So I thought it's got horror themes within the RPG. But I was struggling to see what I had from the early stages that would class as a horror. So.
Are you going to make us depressed about Nintendo games now? Is that what you're going to be doing? Like all our beloved games? Nope. there was deep cemented torment through your
Yeah,
life.
well, I could have just pulled out Luigi's Mansion and shown it, but
I've never played Earthbound, but has that got like horror elements to it?
It's got paedophilia in it.
Sci-fi.
Or is
Yeah,
it
I think
sci-fi?
so.
Yeah, the Japanese one.
yeah, I've only played a little bit of Earthbound so far because I've only got it on the SNES Mini, so not really had a good chance of playing that through yet.
So I apologise with my statement about Chef Payne for StreamYard. I'm not taking the piss, just in case anybody thinks I am. I was just saying, I've got it on my other screen and I'm watching it, and there's 7 people on, and we're the 6. I really wasn't taking the piss, just in case anybody thinks I was.
Paul the cunt.
Noticed in the comments that people said that Lee said he paid up for it, which I wasn't taking the piss out of it.
Sorry, I've just seen Purple Aki saying horny for muscles.
He's after you.
Not that I've got any muscles anymore. But...
So, has anyone played this game that Steve has showed?
No.
Many years ago.
It came out the same time as Secret of Mana, so everyone played Secret of Mana.
I'm pretty sure it's on my list to buy, and now having the EverDrive, it's twigged to actually play it. Majora's Mask is phenomenal.
Is that
I don't know where that comment comes from, Keith, but Majora's Mask is amazing.
Where's your Earthbound?
Hey,
Yeah.
hang on. Let me just grab it.
This is a family-friendly stream, Steve.
There.
Right, things.
It's on there.
Funny enough, my copy is too.
Yeah, I can't get mine out. So.
Please don't get things out, Al.
Especially not from down below the screen.
By the way, I wasn't joking. Literally, in the Japanese version, does walk around Bollico for a while. Like towards the end, I think it is. Or something.
So,
It's a paedophilia game then, yeah?
Yeah.
We've been streaming here now for nearly an hour. And it's time for the man himself, the main reason for this stream. Mr. Horror.
Can we all just say congratulations again to Mark, just on his wedding?
So,
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I'm glad you enjoyed your honeymoon on Al's stream tonight.
I've just
just
had a video sent off Marcus of 2 lovely-looking girls about to do something to themselves, and to do something really nasty. I'll send it years later. It's just turned my stomach a bit. I'm going to go for a Mega Drive game, and
Mark, before we start on your one, Mark. Now, everyone here knows how much you love gaming. Would you like to show these lovely people in the comments your wedding ring? And
oh right, yeah. So my favourite game of all time is arguably Uncharted 2 with Nathan Drake. So my wedding ring is actually the ring that he wears around his neck, and I've got it on the leather and that he does. Now this only cost £12 for my wedding ring, but this is my wedding ring. From small beginnings comes greatness, or whatever it says in Latin. Because I am just that cool.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you there.
That's all right. Shall I get into the game?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So, just to get we're talking a bit, instead of just showing Splatterhouse for the Mega Drive or Zombies Ate My Neighbor, something like that. And it goes back, I think it was Feed Me Chicken said in the comments about Spec Ops: The Line. Now, that's on the PlayStation 3, but I've got another one I wanted to show on the PlayStation 3. So, I thought I'd show this for the Mega Drive. Cannon Fodder. You know, the horrors of war. It can be just as scary and, like, damage you mentally as, you know, any scene as a serial killer coming at you or a vampire or something like that. And in Cannon Fodder, obviously you've got that fear all the time that you're going to lose someone that, like, one of your team members that you build up a bond with. There's always that fear in the background of, and then obviously the overarching war aspect to it. Thank you. I haven't got it on the Amiga. Sorry, Adam.
Oh, you upset Adam. He's a Amiga fan.
But I just thought that'd be something interesting to talk about because we've spoke about it before, with like Spec Ops: The Line and Apocalypse Now and stuff like that. The horrors of war. So I thought it'd be quite interesting just to bring up, rather than just showing Splatterhouse that I was going to.
Well,
As I said, I can't see any horrors in cannon fodder, but the horrors of war.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the horror of war, and obviously, one of your team members that you might have spent a couple hours with, going on these missions and stuff like that. There's that fear of losing your best friend in war. That camaraderie that you
got a
build
game
up.
I'm going to show. I was going to show it later, and I'll show it now, which kind of goes really well into that. Which is
if you show the game and think you're going to show, I'm really going to be annoyed.
It's House of Ashes.
Oh no, it's not the one I was thinking.
I was going to show off like the entire Dark Pictures anthology with Until Dawn and in there as well, and Impatient. So anything by Supermassive Games. But yeah, that starts off. You're in the Iraq War 2003, and you go to like look for WMDs, and there's bits where you could take down civilians and stuff to make it like really kind of impactful to the people of what happens. But you end up in like an underground kind of it's like a temple, and it's full of weird monsters and shit. But it's brand new, so I won't spoil how it goes. But out of all of the Dark Pictures anthology and the Until Dawn was my favorite one. That is a close second. I thought I wasn't gonna enjoy this. This is awesome. I recommend it to everyone. If you like interactive movies, basically.
It's there sealed. I've just picked it up yesterday. I've not put it in yet.
Really good.
I want to get that multi-pack now they're all available. Because I've been wanting
that one.
So you're double dipping on it, are you?
Well, we wanted to buy Little Hope and we couldn't find it anywhere, so we had to buy the pack for it, like when it came out. So
I was so close to getting it for the PS4 because I was speaking to Pete at Pete Fighter, because he's got the free games and then the PS5 one, and I was like, oh, it's going to mess up my OCD, on the shelves of the. But I went for the PS5 one at the end, but I nearly went for the PS4.
That's what I was originally going to get them on the PS4, but I'm so glad I went Xbox on them now because like that just fits the same on the shelf. So it's not going to bug me.
I want the triple pack of that. So where are we at? We're on cannon fodder.
Wait, just war games in general. I was just trying to like.
Well, given that we're talking war games and you've actually mentioned my game, I'm going to interject here. This is a true horror game. I will fight anybody who says it's not, because everything that Mark said about the horrors of war, there's so much truth to it that all your Resident Evils and stuff, you can throw them out of the window if you look at the true horror that humans can inflict on one another. Spec Ops: The Line just actually shows that, like, across the gamut of it. It's really, it takes it down to a T of how bad we as human beings are towards one another.
That's odd. I know what scene you're talking about in Spec Ops: The Line. There's a bit where it gets super dark super quick, isn't there? In that, there's a point which allows you to take a certain thing with you, and I chose not to because of that game, because of Spec Ops: The Line.
So Spec Ops: The Line is based on.
If you take the WP with you, I chose not to.
Yeah, it's based on what's the fucking Heart of Darkness, the book, which is also the inspiration for Apocalypse Now. And yeah, Spec Ops: The Line is just phenomenal. So that was one of my other picks out, given that we're an hour in and we've all shot one game so far. That's just to back up what Mark was saying about the horrors of war and how humans just are really fucking. We're all assholes.
Would you chuck in like the Call of Duty ones though when they get the zombies mode on it?
So
that's not horrors.
It's not as true as Spec Ops: The Line was.
What Spec Ops did brilliant. It made you love killing people at the start. It just felt like playing Gears of War or something like that. And it just slowly started to add these elements, to start getting you thinking. And then it just hit you, didn't it, with that big, bang towards the end.
A bit like Apocalypse Now did. It's the same thing as Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, it was just a slow build-up. When Cooler Shaker Hush, that music came on and the sandstorms and you're just shooting loads of people. And it's like, this is like Gears of War, your heart's pumping and stuff. And then it just slowly started adding stuff. It took you up there and then just brought you really down. I thought it was brilliant.
Also backwards compatible. Just in case anybody wants to play it again.
Right.
I bought it for 99p when game shut down. It's a good 99p.
That's a phenomenal. That's the best 99p you've spent. Honestly, it's a phenomenal game. Absolutely phenomenal game.
I've moved one of my games up to the top after Steve's last comment saying about modern Nintendo don't make good horror games. Although this is technically old Nintendo.
Yeah, they didn't really make horror back in the day. It's in the middle, this one. It's also out on the PS2, but I've only got it on the Wii. And it's probably one of the most gruesome games we're going to show tonight. Manhunt 2. Which they've dumbed down to only having 2 decapitations on it, so God knows how many was on it to start with.
They put loads of filters over everything on that. You can get the PC version uncut now, but the first one's more violent than the second.
Yeah.
To be honest, them filters look worse than the actual fucking real deaths on it, though.
Yeah.
It
looks more like a snuff movie.
It does that what horror films are good at, which it takes. If you actually see the actual thing happening, it's not as scary as like what your mind's envisaging. And like true horror films, like won't actually show you what's going on. I mean, look at Halloween. There was no blood in Halloween at all. Yet it's like cited as like one of the scariest films made.
It's the same with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, isn't it?
Yeah,
There blood in that, I can't remember.
So the original film that did that was Psycho, and Peeping Tom. They were 60s. They were before anything that we got in the 70s.
I think the original Manhunt game was banned in Australia, and I was thinking of buying them and importing them into Australia at the time. I'm sure I remember reading something about
It was banned.
Koopas Gray's goods.
Banning a game's like banning a film. We want it more, don't we? It gives it more publicity than any TV adverts ever would.
It's called, isn't it the Streisand effect? If you try to stop people looking at stuff, that you have to look at it.
As kids, we all wanted to watch video nasties, didn't we? Because we weren't allowed. They were banned. The likes of the Evil Dead and stuff.
I wrote my dissertation on video nasties. That's how much I wanted to see them when I was younger, and I grew up loving it.
The worst one I've seen was
video nasty
then. Just because it's shit. It's a dude who picks his nose and goes invisible and molests kids in a school.
Which video nasty?
What's everyone's favorite?
Picker. Nah, he just rocks up at like outside of school and kills kids. It's weird.
Go on, Eddie.
What's everyone's favorite? What, Eddie?
Video nasty.
Evil Dead. Gotta be.
Well, I say this every time. Me and Mark are like brothers from another mother. Evil Dead has to be the ultimate video nasty. Although, saying that, Last House on the Left. Actually, now I think about it,
I haven't got an answer. Like off the top of my head.
They're pretty good. I remember watching a band video called Executions and showed real life executions. That wasn't good to watch at all.
Faces of Death.
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah.
Cannibal Apocalypse. Was it Cannibal Holocaust
Cannibal
as well?
Holocaust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You actually thought that was real,
Cannibal
didn't you?
Eric's as well. That's pretty
Yeah.
horrible.
There's so many of them now that you can't get because when the 84 video recording app came in, it killed a lot of the original video for it, so we can't get a lot of these banned films.
Cannibal Holocaust is only a bad movie due to the animal death in it. I don't like watching real animal death.
Yeah.
That's the only thing bad with it.
So what Woodland's referring to, I had some recording issues and it sounded great on my test, but it turns out it was fucked on the actual video, and I can't be asked fucking re-recording it. So I know he's getting old.
Fade away.
Turn his hearing aid up, he'll be fine.
I said he needs the world's greatest one.
Re-record, not fade away, as some great person said back in the day.
It wants to live forever.
But yeah, Reanimator, I don't know, like Evil Dead is probably one of my, to be honest, but Reanimator is my close second. Like they're very on par. I absolutely love Reanimator. It's so cheesy and gruesome and like fake cheese gruesome.
I have a big feeling that game I mentioned, the film I mentioned earlier, Bad Biology,
Dr. West,
is done by the people who did Reanimator.
Oh really? Oh, amazing.
Was it?
Need that.
Reanimator was David Lynch, wasn't it? Was it not a David Lynch film?
No. But I do love David Lynch stuff.
It was a bigger director though, was it not Reanimator?
What's his name? Can't remember now.
Because a lot of their stuff was he based a lot of it on Lovecraft.
Yeah.
Reanimator, the Bride of Reanimator. They do From Beyond as well.
So I'm trying to look who directed Stuart Gordon. So no.
Oh right, no, definitely not.
I've actually watched Frankenhooker a couple of months ago, and it's really funny. It's very good.
I've not seen it. I've seen it advertised, like pictures of the DVD, but because that's another Arrow film, isn't it? On Arrow Frankenhooker.
It's like a very grown-up, weird science. If I had to describe it, yeah, it's brilliant.
I don't remember what Dana's saying there about bad taste. I don't remember bad taste being banned. It was pretty. It was just a horror film. I think that's a.
Because it came out in Australia, because it's Australian, isn't it? It could possibly could have been banned there because they're really strict in Australia.
Yeah. It's got another name as well, hasn't it?
Bad Taste. Or am I
Bad
thinking
Taste
of
has
another one?
got two names to it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Blood Simple does it not? Is it not Blood Simple? The first Peter Jackson film where he kills his mum with a lawnmower.
I can't remember.
I thought that was Bad Taste. No, Bad Taste was that weird.
Yeah, Bad Taste, the alien one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Is there any horror horse racing game?
Mr. Tapman's come out with a sensible question for once.
Would that not be Carmageddon?
Carmageddon could be a horror racing game, I guess.
Peter Jackson was Bad Taste.
Was there a death race game as
Peter
well?
Jackson did Blood Simple and Bad Taste, Ross.
Yeah. I don't know.
He did The Frighteners as well. That was his first Hollywood film, and then he went on to make The Hobbit and shit like that.
I love how we're talking about games and yet we're talking like turned into like the VHS bootleggers here. We've probably talked about more films than games.
Oh, the game. Most of the games have like come from horror film backgrounds. That's how they get their inspiration. So
should we bring it back to horror games? Given that Al showed Manhunt 2 and Al showed Manhunt 1. Rockstar at Rockstar's best. I think fantastic series of games, that both of them. But to just be able to go and absolutely be so cathartic to batter somebody that pisses you off. Which is a lot of people want to do it, and not very many people would do. But to have that catharsis throughout that game, it's great for me.
It was a game of its time as well.
A horror game until you get to the bit where Pigsy's chasing you around that abandoned bit, and he freaks me out.
If you want to play a game where you just batter people to death, go and download We Happy Few, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
that was pretty shit.
I think it looks alright.
Man, sorry.
Looks alright, I think. I've not played it, but I just like that kind of graphical style of it.
It looks good. It's not great. It looks good for me. It looks good, but it's not great.
What mode did you play though?
I don't fucking know.
I played the career mode. It's really good.
Mode? That's what it's supposed to be, story mode.
Yeah, there's like basically you can do whatever you want mode, and then there's the story mode.
So can everybody stop showing games that are related to the ones I'm going to show? Because this is I'm down to 2 now.
Well, I'm sure Ross is going to tell us one that you haven't got.
I'll find something. You want to see one now that you might not have?
Go on then.
All right. Let's find one from over here.
Where he gets his ass out.
Yeah, no, White Day.
Oh,
I've never heard of that.
I nearly bought that.
It's a
It was on my CX list for ages.
It's a remake of a Korean game that was dubbed as the scariest game ever. You have to sneak into a school, and I think it's leave a flower or something on someone's desk, because it's before Valentine's Day. They leave gifts or something it's Korea or something. So, but yeah, it's you sneak into a school, and it's part, say, Project Zero, where shit just jumps out at you, kind of ghosts jump out at you, and being stalked by a crazy janitor kind of game. But yeah, I haven't actually got that far through it, only because I bought something else, and just this got moved further and further back. But what I did play of it was actually quite fun. But it wasn't one I was going to show. It's just one I pulled out and put on the floor.
Is it a limited run game? Because I partly remember. I'm sure I remember a trailer for this or it's a game that sounds like it's got a very similar.
It's a game that they thought was going to be one of those kind of cult, really expensive games, but I think it costs about £8 on CDX now. Something stupid like that.
Might have to have a look at that.
Yes, it's a fun little game to argue, but I'm not great with being chased.
Just find a fat friend and trip them up.
Steve's just trying to get me to fall for some amateur stuff. But it's not working. Nice try though, Steve. This one here. So, Eddie, what have you got next?
So I thought I'd do a bit of a you and show a series of games that I've never played. So but the games I really want to do, because I've got the whole series here. Look, so it's the Deception series. So we've got Devil's Deception, got Deception 2 Kagero, Deception 3. And what's good about these are made by From Software, which is the other reason why I wanted to show them off. Because I know there's some From Software head in here. And then we've got Trapped, which I think you've actually got that, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got that one, yeah.
And then Deception 4 on the PlayStation 3. Now, they're sort of Devil May Cry sort of games, but you set traps rather than actually do combos and shit like that.
They play like Pikmin.
A bit like everything plays like Pikmin. But yeah, I don't know. I love horror themed games like this, where it's sort of a little bit different than the norm. These are my kind of games, and I just can't wait to actually kick into them. But yeah, it's just weird how the third one, all the time, we always get one out of a big series, never comes out in the UK, and this is one of them. So Dark Delusion, what's it called? Deception 3.
I've only played the PS4 version of it, but I can't be asked to dig it out from behind stuff. It's too far in.
Well, it's that one. That's the PlayStation. This done on. It's on the Vita
it is
as
that,
well.
but the PS4 one's got all the DLC on it. I think it's the definitive edition.
So what is it actually any good then? Is it?
No, I thought it was shit. No,
Well,
it's a bit.
I've wasted me money then, haven't I?
It's all right. It's just a bit slow. You kind of plod around a bit, and it gives you like a time limit to set traps. Then you kind of just hide back and hope that everything dies. It's more like a puzzle game than anything.
How is it?
Yeah.
So I mean, what I've seen it as is it's sort of like like sort of Devil May Cry, but like just not as action based.
I don't remember a great deal of action in it, but I didn't play it for that long.
But yeah, so no one else played that series then?
No.
Nope.
I've got Trapped. I haven't played it yet though.
Yeah, I
wasn't
thought I'd do a year.
Trapped.
But speed this along a little bit.
I'm gonna pay you while
Show
you
5
talk.
things in the process. He's gone to look for it now. Look.
So back to me and go to Steve now because people keep showing things that I.
Yeah, you haven't got much left to show. So, Steve, what have you got next?
Well, no one showed it yet, and it's the most obvious one to show. I just thought I'd show all the Resident Evils.
Ah, see it. I've got one next.
So, Paul, did you have any Resident Evil on your list?
I've got one.
I was going to show the Platinum PS1, so I don't have to show that now and embarrass myself.
Oh, I don't have that one.
Yeah, you still do. Because my question is, what is your favourite Resident Evil one out of the series?
I'm going to say
on
7.
Nintendo?
I think 7's phenomenal. But mainly because
Nintendo's got to be 4.
but me and Laura in our old house, we used to. So 7 came out just before we left there, and I didn't have a games room. I wasn't collecting. I was just playing games, mainly playing COD Online. But I had my Xbox set up downstairs. I had headset for it and everything. Playing Res Evil Res Evil 7 when you're first in the house. When you're being chased by, I can't remember the lead character's name, the first guy who chases you, Mark.
They're the Barkers, aren't they?
Yeah, the dad, the Barkers or whatever. When you've got your headset on and you're immersed in the game, and then suddenly Laura comes and pulls the headset off and shouts, "He's behind you!" You kind of shit yourself. And it got me as well right at the very start with the headset on, the lights off, and playing it, and you walk into that corner and the crows come flying at you. It was proper. Res Evil 7 was proper horror film, scary horror game for me.
It brought back the horror film that we're all kind of like missing on, like the sort of like the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s sort of like proper scary house horror, where it's not the same anymore. Like I say, it's everything nowadays is such a build up, whereas this was scary right from the start.
Yeah,
you got it right straight away.
Yeah, I can't say any other Res Evil game other than that. First one's phenomenal. The rest are much of a muchness, but 7 changed the Res Evil genre, and I bought Village and I've yet to play it. So,
did you have
Village is a lot more like 4?
Sorry, Ross.
The kitchen was a like little demo for Resi 7 in VR, but it's just like you tied to a chair getting tortured.
Yeah, I've played through that. Ross.
Really interesting.
Has anyone played the game fully in VR or just the demo?
Yes, I did it in VR.
All of it?
Yeah.
You nuts it, because I played that kitchen demo and that girl comes behind you and puts her hands behind you, and oh my god, that's the fucking scariest thing I've ever had in video game history. Like honestly, I actually felt like hands was going over me.
Yeah, it does feel like it, but I'll give it. It's actually less creepy in VR playing the whole game because you're more aware of your surroundings. So to me, it was less creepy in VR. It was still, I was still shitting myself, but I don't know.
Paul Retrobit was telling us a story. He played it in VR, and he'd left the curtains, the window open. And he hadn't realised, and it was quite windy. And the curtain started blowing and stroking him on the arm, and he didn't know what was going on. I was howling when
my brother was telling me he played it in VR, and his wife came in to tell him dinner was ready, and just sort of nudged him on the arm. He fucking shit himself.
Yeah, my mate was around there, and we were playing it in VR. And my cat jumped on his lap. He almost yeeted that cat across the room. He shit himself.
Well, I showed that kitchen VR demo to my partner at the time, and I put it on. I was like, "You play this game, honestly, you'll love it." So got a little chair, told her to sit here, and put the headset on, and like honestly, I was videoing her while I was like doing it. And she just screamed the house down. Got the headset and was like ready to chuck it, and I was like, "Shit!" No.
I have a video of Chrissy screaming wearing it, doing the kitchen demo.
Yeah,
but yeah, for me, that is like Eddie's saying. That's the scream, I guess, of its era in terms of video games. It brought sort of Scream kind of brought horror back, and Res Evil 7 brought the horror game, I guess, back. Would be more what I was trying to get at.
Plus, it's that chase feeling that you get that had, because what's it called? Jack would chase you down like, oh my god, that would be the worst bit. So tense.
Yeah, it took me forever to work out how, when you're first in the chair and you rock yourself around and you get out, it took me forever to work out how to get out of the room, because he's just always there.
I do think the game dropped off a lot once you left the house and you started getting on the ship and stuff like that. I thought it did go downhill a lot.
I didn't find the weird mold creatures creepy. They were just a bit annoying.
I think it's more of the reality of that could actually be that could actually exist somewhere in backwoods America.
Well, it felt like a totally different game that was then just Resident Evil-ified near the end. Which I liked. That's what I liked about it, though. But yeah, totally different game, which is a shame. I don't know if has anyone ever played the Revelation games, Resident Evil Revelation. What did you think to them? I thought it was really good.
Yeah,
I've got me to play,
especially
but
the second one.
yet.
The second one was really good. Yeah, because that's why in Resident Evil 5, I think it is, Jill's the only one who's not in it from the first two games, and that's because she was in Revelations at the time. So they tried to have the story so it was all fluent, the story. Yeah. That's why she's the only one who's not in it.
Yeah, because is it the first one you start on a ship, don't you?
Oh, Claire. Sorry, is it Claire?
Well, this comment Dana said, even though I know this is coming, it still gets me every time.
Yeah,
that's true. Like, everybody's been scared by that.
Same with the T-Rex in Dino Crisis. That's what I was saying with Dino Crisis. Pulls everything from Res Evil, but it's when the the Raptor jumps through, you shit yourself.
I mean, I've got to agree with Dana. That set the benchmark early on when it first came out, and everyone. But the minute that first zombie cutscene turns its head and looks at you and chases after you, and the dog's jumping out the window, that was a great thing. And then going on to more Nintendo, that's the best one on a Nintendo system, I'd say, is the Resident Evil 4 on the Wii, because you've got the motion control. If for a laugh and for
the motion
just
control.
sort of arcadey wise, that's a great on-rail shooter. Absolutely love playing that as an on-rail shooter.
What is your favourite Resi game then, Steve? Is it 4?
So for gameplay, as a Resident Evil game, would be 4. For an arcadey shooter, and then it's going to be Umbrella Chronicles. But yeah, for an out-and-out Resident Evil, it's got to be 4 on the Wii.
What's it like with the motion control?
It's easier to target, that's all.
Everyone said it was the definitive way to play it, and I hated it. I hated the Wii version. I don't know why. I love
just
the GameCube.
What's really clever about the Resident Evil remake that they did on the GameCube, the dogs don't actually jump out at you the first time, like they did on the original. they saved it for like a couple of times later when you went into that room. Then they jumped out, and people who played the original like us, we were expecting it, and it didn't happen. And we thought, oh, they must have just took it out. But then it happens to you.
The scariest part of that remake is when you realise they put the Crimson Heads in it. They fucking get up again. Oh.
So I'm assuming that that's the same remake that I've got on Xbox that I own digitally.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
That's what I was playing today.
So what one are you going for, Mark? Are you going for your platinum number 1 then?
Yeah, Resident Evil 1 for me, it's yeah. Obviously, you had Alone in the Dark and other games before, but Resident Evil was for me is like the pinnacle of horror games. It kick-started them all. The survival horror genre is Resident Evil. It was started by Resident Evil. Resident Evil. I just played Village a couple of months ago, and it was still fantastic. What we're talking 25 years after the original came out, something like that. So it's got to be the Resident Evil remake is. There's a lot better games than Resident Evil 1 in the series, but just for what it means, I think Resident Evil has to be. That's the one I would pick, the original.
For me, I've gone for Resi 3 because I just think it's got like the best bad guy in it. Look at that, Nemesis. You can't go wrong, and then you can unlock the rocket launcher, which makes the game really easy. But,
just like our likes.
But yeah, but like the time I spent on this trying to beat that Nemesis just took weeks, I think. Getting on that Gatling gun to try and like weaken him down every time at the end.
You want some tips from Retrobit? Because Paul tells his story about playing that, and he struggled like hell trying to beat it.
Yeah, so did I. But yeah, so I've gone for 3. What one are you going for, Ross?
It was in my pile. Veronica.
Yeah.
No one's picked 2 yet. That's a surprise. Must be Eddie.
I don't know. Something about Code Veronica I just really enjoyed. You could tell it was trying to go slightly more in the action direction with the intro cutscene with the like helicopter and everything and the fucking falling to the floor and reloading guns and stuff. But after that, it was the last one that to me felt like a Resident Evil. Also, it kind of, where you get usually your 2 scenarios that like forced you to do both at once, like playing one after the other. Like you play a game's worth before you get to like, is it Chris's bit, and then it's like another game again. That's how I think.
There's the only thing about Code Veronica. There's a certain part if you haven't got enough ammo and you've saved just before that fight, you're screwed.
Oh yeah, you're fucked.
And you've got to start the whole game again, and it's towards the end, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's this is the last day you can get it, but it is the games with gold on Xbox. You have to do it online because you can't get it through your console for some reason.
Code Veronica.
Yeah, Code Veronica is the last. It's the last day you can do it. Yeah, Code Veronica is the games gold on the 360 one.
I've got it on the PS3. I bought it on the PS3.
I've got it.
I own it physically on Xbox, but I got it digitally as well. But yeah, you have to. You can't. For some reason, well, I say you can't. I can't get it through my Series X. So whether you can do it on the Xbox One or not, I don't know.
I've just done it on the PC. It's done.
There you go.
So, download to console. There we go. Done.
What about you then, Eddie? Are you going to go for one of the same one we've all picked, or
no? I'm going to just be a bit different because it needs more love. Operation Raccoon City. Absolutely, everyone gives it so much stick. I actually fucking really love that game. I'm not really into like first-person shooters or anything like that, but there was something about like killing all these like monsters that you've played and seen before in like a spooky setting, but a first-person shooter, and like the frame rate was a bit shit, and it probably could have been optimized a bit better. But I had a proper blast going through it and playing it. I had a really good time.
You say about
what's the one that was released and mugged off? Was it Umbrella Corps? Like the physical version.
The
really
online only thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right, you say about the first-person shooter element of it. What about Resident Evil Survivor on the PS1?
That's
gun.
Almost like a light gun game,
Yeah.
almost.
We've not classed
Only
that.
here though, wasn't it? It's in the UK. You can use the light gun with it, can't you? But the American version you can't.
What was the semi-light gun game on? Is that the one that Steve showed, the Umbrella Chronicles on?
Yeah.
Wii?
There's also Dark Side Chronicles.
So they're both on rail shooters, are they?
Yeah.
I own one of them. I can't remember which one though.
The Dead Space on rail shooter on the Wii is meant to be really good.
Is that Extraction?
If you get Dead Space 2 Special Edition on PlayStation 3, it comes with it. You just need to use the Move controller.
Dead Space is phenomenal. Absolutely. But the first two are fantastic.
Yeah, the first two, yeah.
The third
See,
one's
that was
got
set in space and never went to space, so it's good. If it had started somewhere else and went to space, it'd be shit.
Jason X is still the best horror film in that series.
No.
I'm surprised that no one picked Resi 2. The amount everyone says that that's the best one.
I think Resident Evil 2 Remake is the best Resident Evil game, but it's not my favourite, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Too much nostalgia with the series. It's hard to differentiate.
I put one down to like a personal thing of when I played it and like how I was at the time.
That's why I chose Resi 1, yeah.
Like Resident Evil 2, I played that on the N64 to start off with. And to me, it's an N64 game, but I don't have that. So
that's the first Resi game I beat. So
you beat a game.
I beat Resi 1, 2, and 3 on the PS1.
You need to stream this out until we've seen it. I don't believe you.
Both discs for 1 and 2.
That's it.
Are you sure you just didn't beat the menu system?
Yeah, probably. it was a long time ago. I forget these things.
Basically, he got three green herbs in his menu, combined them all together, and thought he beat the game.
That's it, yeah.
Puzzles are easy in this, Jesus.
That's what you've got to do. It's brilliant.
Now, watching a Let's Play is not beating it out.
Yeah.
Beat it on YouTube.
What are people in the comments saying? How are they saying Resi 2 or?
Well, there was 3 comments on it. One of them said Resi 1, then Veronica, then 2, and then 3, and haven't played the rest. That's Stuart. Rosev said Resi 7 is the best, and Keith said Resi 2.
Fair play.
And that was it.
Without Resi 4, we wouldn't have got Devil May Cry either, would we? Because that started off as Resi 4.
And Chris is back. Welcome back, Chris.
Isn't there a hacked cartridge you can buy, like a repro cartridge, which contains a lot of Resident Evil 0 for the N64, which was going to be released, but they scrapped it.
I don't know.
But yeah, it looks. I always thought it looked really cool because they had the switch mechanic and everything still on the N64. They just boosted the game up, didn't they, to the GameCube level.
That's the only Resident Evil game I've stopped playing, and I was at the end boss. I'd had left too much stuff in, miles away, and I was just like, I'm not going back. I just don't care enough. I stopped playing it on the last boss.
That's probably the worst game out of the lot of them, Resi 0.
It's that and number 6.
I've not
I
played
actually
6.
didn't mind 0. 6 is shit. I never finished 6. I finished the Leon campaign and didn't want to play anymore.
I saved
That's
Leon
the best
for
one.
last. I saved Leon for last because I knew I was going to dislike the rest, and I completed it that way. The problem with Resident Evil 6, they were trying to make it a survival horror game, like an arcade fast shooting game, but with survival horror mechanics with the low bullets. It was just shit.
It's still
Yeah.
Plus, at one point, you walk for a playground, and I spent ages going down the slide.
Now,
yeah.
was it Ghost of Goblins on the PSP you were looking for just now?
Yeah, I found it. I got it in my local CX, 15 quid.
Speak to Sega. I'll be just showing it on Spotlight.
Has he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he wants 20 quid.
Can I show a game while Clay Graphics is still in? While Clay's still in the chat, just in case he leaves.
He says
One of my games. So I want to pick Bloodborne for one of my horror games. I just know how much Clay loves it, and it was just in case he left the chat.
It was your turn anyway.
Oh well, I'm sure Bloodborne. Because at its heart, it's like an action. It's an action RPG. But if you think about it, it does have some like survival horror mechanics to it, as well as having like the gothic theme and the Lovecraftian theme to it. You've got the vials where you've only got 20, so you're limited. You know, like you are with bullets and stuff like that. A lot of the monsters, like I said, they're based on Lovecraftian themes. You've got that gothic Victorian horror feel to it. And I don't think any of you have played the game, though, have you? Or much?
I've got it. But I
I
haven't
played it and I got dicked by Father Gascoigne and gave up.
Father Gascoigne.
He's the second boss.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think it was I'm currently stuck at a courtyard, and every year I try to go back. I'm like, and I just can't do it.
I just want everyone just to love Bloodborne as much as I do. Honest, it's just you've just got to fight through it, and once you get through it, it's just the best game ever.
It'd be one of those
Honestly,
games I've
try every
enjoyed,
year,
but I put it
every
on
year.
like when they get home from work and you get your ass kicked and you can't be asked after work to get your ass kicked.
You just want to get 1000 G within 30 minutes and move on to the next
Yeah,
one.
you want to play some Ratalaika games.
That's it, yeah.
But I've put about 250 hours into it, and if I've not played it in a couple of months and I go back to it even after that time, I'll get my arse kicked for like the first 20 minutes or something, and then you just get into the flow of the combat again. It's just so good. I just want everyone just to play Bloodborne.
I love the graphical style of it. It's
Got-
beautiful.
got-
It's a beautiful game.
Scott has mentioned the game here. We can't bring it up because Mark might just be talking all night. None of us else will get a word in.
Fist. Or first, I thought you said Fist Souls. I don't know. First Souls, like I've completed. Yeah, like. Do you want to make this a From Software stream, or we're staying on the horror?
I was going to
got no
bring a
From
From
Software
Software
game.
game out for you, but it was too far into the behind shit, so I didn't bring it. I was going to bring out Echo Knight. I thought Eddie had it there. Is he?
So we've got these here.
That's
Echo
the
Knight
badger.
1 and Echo Knight 2, going for the whole series, going for the series theme again. This is quite good as well. On the back it says, a horrific crash on your honeymoon has left you separated from your fiancé. So there you go. You can use that as an excuse to get it. It's a honeymoon game.
I think we can play together. There you go.
But yeah, I've not actually played them. But yeah, From Software.
She's been good as gold with us. She was letting us play the Switch when we got to bed on the night of the wedding. I didn't have to do any funny business with her because I was allowed to play Stormfront. I think she'd kick off if I started spending £100 on more games.
But the From Software game.
Just finish the level, then consummate it on her face. It's fine.
Yes, Clay, I did hear that about Bloodborne too, with Blue Point.
I've gone for a controversial game next because I don't know whether this is going to be classed as horror or not, but I think it is. It's a Team 17 game
Super Frog.
for the PS4. It's pretty close to Super Frog.
Alien Breed.
It's Flockers.
It's not really horror.
It's very gruesome.
I only. It's only gruesome for fucking Welsh people.
All these
and
poor
Kiwis.
people dying for no reason.
It's effectively Lemmings, but
It is. But we're sheep.
with sheep.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my
Out of your entire
controversial one.
collection now, you pull out that.
Yeah, no, I did pull out another PS4 game, which is more of a horror style game.
He made the rules as well, Ross. I don't understand.
So
If you pull Agony out and say you've pulled a good one out, I'm off.
my PS4 selection is Slain, Back from Hell.
Okay.
If you've got past the first level of that, I fucking applaud you, mate.
Yeah, I have to load my finger and I'll show you where I am. It's really hard though. It is brutal.
Great game.
Yeah, nice little 2D platformer.
I beat Valfris, and after beating that, I'm giving it a couple of years before I subject myself to slaying.
And this is probably harder.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've heard
Valkyrie
it.
is a walk in the park compared to that one. Honestly, it's fucking brutal.
I die
I
so
don't-
many times on this. It's unreal. Thank God there is a lot of save points.
I might play it this week just to beat it before you then. Just to prove I'm the better man.
I better start playing it again, then I might stream it. It is brutal. Absolutely
Anybody
brutal.
who's beaten Hades, I applaud, because that game kicks
Oh
my
god,
fucking ass.
that's one I can't get past the first level on. And the other one is the Binding of Isaac.
I can get right up to fighting fucking Hades, and then he just absolutely bends me over, shoves his fist up my ass, and then sticks his dick in my mouth.
If
Fucking trounced.
I thought you had a bad gag reflex.
Yeah.
I do. That's the worst thing about it.
I'm trying to think of that. It'd be cool, right? It's a Kermit deep throat.
any of you played the Binding of Isaac?
I have, yes.
Have you beat it?
I beat Mom, yeah. But there is no real end to Binding of Isaac. It's just that repetitive gameplay because every run is different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I beat Mom, which is just like this woman with like big high heels trying to stomp on you.
Yeah, that's only one of them though. And then you've got to beat all the others.
Yeah.
There's something ridiculous like 256 bosses or something.
But there's no real end to it, is there?
No. I can't even get past one boss. It's brutal. Absolutely brutal. But yeah, that reminds me a little bit like Hades.
I don't even know what route we're taking on this now. Have people been going round, or am I just that drunk? I don't know what's going on. So,
You're a bit like you talking bollocks.
okay, sounds good.
So yeah, we was talking about a brutal 2D platformer.
Floppers.
I have a brutal 3D game here, but it's
Floppers,
brutal in a different way.
Lame. So yeah, I think I've got like every 2D platformer there is on the PS4. So that's why
I bet you haven't. I fucking bet you haven't. There's probably about 1,000 of them.
There probably is now. At the time, I think I had them all. That was about 2 years ago.
I'll show you a game that's brutal in a different way.
Oh, here we go.
It's Condemned. The
Oh,
noises when you hit homeless people with pipes in this is brutal.
Ain't the second one better though?
No, the second one's shit compared to this one. The second one, like, it starts off pretty much similar. Then you get like, because basically it's I don't know, it's like a brawler kind of with just pipes and stuff. You get the odd gun, but you only have like a couple of shots in it to take down homeless people that are coming through walls and jumping out of ceilings at you. But yeah, this is good. The second one, when you get about halfway through, you just get like machine guns and you get to mow down like weird black sludge demons, a bit like Resident Evil. But yeah, no, that's awesome. The story to this is really bad though. It's like tracking a serial killer, but it doesn't make much sense. But I do have a very strange fact about it. If you complete all the achievements on this, you still only have 970 gamer score. It's the only game under 1,000 officially on the Xbox.
Oh, rubbish.
So,
Rubbish.
we got a question here from Dan. Who would be the first murdered in a slasher film out of you six?
Al?
And who survived?
Well, Eddie survives. Eddie survives. He's the one with the girliest hair. It's always a final lady.
Turns out I am the fucking murderer.
Just ask Dylan.
You'll just all end up in the basement.
I don't know. I think it'll be Ross. I've seen how short his legs are. I think I can outrun him.
I'm swift for a run.
We need a race now. This needs to be streamed.
Having met Al, having met Eddie, and given I know how fat I am, I'm confident I can outrun Eddie and Al. I'm not sure about Ross and Mark and Steve. But Mark must have to hit certain fitness goals every so often.
Yeah, once a year I've got to do a fitness test.
So
we need to have the Horror 6 fitness test where we all do a series of like fitness regime like races against each other.
we're just given
We
this.
could live stream doing a Jane Fonda workout DVD or something, could we?
Fuck me, that'd be scary.
Who really wants to get on this stream?
Yeah, we'll all take the lead, and we'll go up to North Shields, which is close to where Mark is, and we'll run on the beach up there. See who lasts longest.
Damn, I was hoping it was going to stop at 100 meters.
I'd be lucky if we could do 60 at this point in time.
Clicky group.
We're a clicky group, apparently. No, we don't invite them.
Here you go, Al. I've got some things for you, some games for you.
Go on, then. What are you showing us?
So you're on about no horror Nintendo games. There you go. I thought I'd just do a few. So I'm a cheap bastard like that. Can't just do one. So we've got The Call-In, which I've not played, so can't really say anything about other than it's a horror game on the Wii. But it's pretty freaky.
I had that in my pile.
Well, you can talk about that one then. And then
Okay.
this one, which I have actually played, and it's not. People call it a horror game. It really isn't. It's like a spooky anime.
It's pretty expensive though.
I've been trying to get that for months, and I
This
think CX had it for 20. It's up for 40 now, but eBay's 140.
Fuck me. I mean, I bought this for less than 140 with a Wii U and about 20 other Wii games about 7 years ago. It was about a year after the Wii U
CX,
came
and
out.
then place my order, and then it gets cancelled all the time. So I assume they're copy jackets.
Look what's inside it, another scary Wii game. But yeah, there is scary games, but one that I've literally just completed is Clock Tower on the Super Famicom. On the Super Nintendo, yes, there was horror games back then. So this actually is
I've just seen what he's just put there.
He only comes back for Halloween.
So yeah, this basically is just a remake of what's it called? Daria Argentina Phantasmagoria. Is it Phantasmagoria? Or the other one that sounds very similar to it? It's basically the same character, everything like the same environment, just like pretty much play for play. But yeah, it's like a point and click adventure. So
it's not linked to Clock Tower on PlayStation then?
Yeah, that's a remake of this.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's expensive as well, is it not? I don't know.
It's about £40 for Clock Tower 3 on the PS2. I'm not sure about the PS1.
On the PS1, you're looking well into triple figures. Well, like two.
Yeah, I think it's about 150 into it at the moment.
Last time I looked, at about 200, I think.
Yeah, about 220 last I saw.
I nearly got that from Car Beauty Man for 80 quid, but he wouldn't budge down, and then someone bought it the week later, and I was like, fuck. But yeah, this is really good. Like the thing is, like, it's got really good for a Super Nintendo game. It's got amazing sound design, and again, this is one of the things that like really makes or breaks a horror game for me. If you've got like really good sound cues, it really gets you going. This has got this really cool, like, piercing sort of like repetitive noise that starts happening when someone scary comes along, and it's like it proper gets to like blood like pumping and stuff. But the only problem about this game is after a few like appearances with like the main protagonist, which is this like lad with like huge scissors who comes running after you, it doesn't get very scary after that. It's kind of like it blows all like the horror right at the beginning, and then it just kind of gets like really repetitive. But for a Super Nintendo game, this is amazing. Like you would have seen a game like this back then. There was no horror games really until the PlayStation 1. So I really think if you're a big horror fan, play this game. Just emulate it or whatever. Put it in an EverDrive or something like that, and give this a shot. Really good game. Has anyone ever been tempted to go back to this and look at this?
No, I've been tempted by the PlayStation one. I didn't know the PlayStation one was a remake, so it's interesting. But my game knowledge is worse than Al's, so it's not surprised that I don't know that.
It's hard work to play the series though, because you can only play the PS. Was it the second one's only in America, ain't it? in Japan.
Japan as well, yeah. It's what's
This
it called?
thing-
Demon Head or
thing called
something.
emulation. Now I don't know whether you're aware of this.
You don't have to play the series in order though.
Yeah, I've only played the third one, and it was just a standalone game. I felt.
The third one is batshit insane.
Yeah.
Like
I need to
it's
play it.
a
I've got it off of
strange game.
TV Chicken.
Well, wasn't what's that game? Haunting Ground. Wasn't that supposed to be like a spiritual? Well, no, like a side story to it or something. But
Yeah.
I think they just made it its own instead.
You weren't too keen on the stealth mechanics in that, though, were you? Was it you that wasn't?
It was I'm not really a fan of it because the thing is, I would be running away like a good few screens, then hide in a cupboard or under a bed, and you'd still find me. I'm like, well, fuck, what am I supposed to do? And then my dog just fucked off, and I was like, that was the best bit of the game.
Haunting Ground's weird because like there's sections where the enemies don't attack you, isn't there? They'd be going around doing their like daily chores, so you can like walk up and talk to them. It's bizarre. Another game which heavily features a dog is Rule of Rose, isn't it? Basically, you need to find like different items to bring him back to this aristocrat society to give these offerings to like these kids. It's a bit weird. But yeah, you've got a dog and you make it sniff all the items in your inventory. So then it's basically your dog becomes a waypoint and you just spend your time following a dog. And there's only certain points where there's enemies, but the enemies ruin the game.
Best dog in any game is Shadow Dancer, without a doubt.
He's so like he does everything that you want exactly when you want him to do it. He's the most responsive dog in any video game, I think.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
I don't know. I like the dog in Blair Witch.
I've not played that yet.
Show the doggy.
That's what I was just about to say. But the thing is, I don't want to ruin it for Clay because I know Clay's playing it at the same time as me. We was chatting about it last night.
Show the doggy.
Misses are playing it. That is probably one of my favorite horror games I played this year.
To
The
be
dog
honest,
The last horror game I bought off your suggestion early was Agony, so I might not be buying one in a while.
Well, I mean, it wasn't a suggestion like you're gonna love it, though, was it?
When you said it was bad, I thought it was going to be good bad. It's not. It's just terrible, isn't it?
Just bad.
I've enjoyed every horror game by Bluebird Team, including that one, which I play it on the Xbox. That's why that's still sealed. Layers of Fear. Played it.
Again, I've never heard of that.
It's like a walking simulator horror. It's like a tormented artist, and you walk through, but it's done based on like the scares are on like atmosphere and sound design and the odd jump scare. But it's definitely play that. That is really really good.
The best worst horror game I've played. I've just played it last week. Was Corpse Killer. I really really enjoyed it. I just thought it was cheesy rubbish, but like good. It was what I wanted it to be when I got it. I just want to play Night Trap now.
I'm pretty sure there's a film called Corpse Killer as well that is very similar. It's cheesy crap, 80s, but still fun to watch.
I've not heard of that one.
Steve's going to show us another Nintendo game here that he wants to debate whether it's a horror one or not.
I'm impressed he didn't shit
definitely
Colin.
It's terrible. I'll give a bit of backstory. This was a game I kept on seeing in the charity shop. No one was buying it. It was there week after week after week, so I just bought it just so I don't have to keep seeing it. It is horror themed, loosely, very loosely, but too cool for school. It is actually a reading game. It's got 8 stories in it. I thought my son might read it, but no, he's not interested in it. But it doesn't even show on CX, so it's either terrible and they don't list it, or it's that rare they don't list it. So I'm going with it's really rare and worth a load of money.
It sounds like it should be part of the Monsters High universe because I've got a New Ghoul in school on the Xbox.
Oh, okay.
Sounds very Goosebumps-esque.
Yeah.
It's all
Al's
there,
just
but
throwing off your 500 quid for it.
if anything, it's got this sticker that's
I think
welded
Bill's
to
after
the box, so that's got to come off at some point. But...
Bill will be messaging you tomorrow.
Have you not got Eternal Darkness?
No, I did have before my someone liked my games before me and took them out of my house. I just haven't bought it back. Yeah.
Just to show it. It's there.
Yeah, I've got it down there. It's absolutely fantastic. I think Generation Pixels. I think Stu's just been playing it recently, and he fell in
put
love
a
with it.
poll, didn't he, of what to play? It's like it's got to be Eternal Darkness.
Yeah, I think I voted for it as well. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's such a good
Funny
game.
thing is, every time I've got that game, it's been from charity shops. I've always found it from charity. Weird.
Find me a manual. I want the manual. Mine's missing one.
I would have traded one in with a manual. That's a shame, isn't it? Actually, fuck. Do you know what? I think I might have the manual. I'll look.
I got
that's
Eternal
smart,
Darkness,
In fact,
Resident Evil 2, and Resident Evil 3 on the GameCube off my brother. He found them in his cupboard.
All
So
I find in my cherry shop
the-
is Rain Training 1 and 2. It's crap.
I've pulled another couple of games out as we've been talking because obviously I've had things that have linked into other people's.
I'm going to show.
I'm just saying I've pulled a couple out so that I can show them in a minute.
I'm going to show Al's favorite
special
series.
pulled like 60 games out.
That
That's
is not
full of
a horror
horror.
game.
That explains why I couldn't find it because I was looking for it in my PlayStation 4 collection.
It's got a remaster on the PS4.
I don't have the remaster. I've just got that one.
So obviously this has got like the cold clickers, but they're basically just like zombies, aren't they? But it's actually the Parasite. It's based on real life parasites, so could happen. It's really clever the way they did that. But it's not like the zombies or yeah.
I think the decimal point's in the wrong place.
With The Last of Us, it's not the the clickers that gets to me. It's the story, about how his daughter's, if you've not played it, his daughter's killed in the first couple of minutes. And it's how he deals with the grief when he's got to take this girl who would have been the same age as what his daughter was when she was killed by the clickers, and how he's got to change, how he is, how he's dealing with the grief and the loss of his child and whether he can still go on. I just think it's like the best story in video game history, The Last of Us. I just absolutely love it. And obviously it's got the overriding like zombies that you got to try and kill and the big monsters, but it doesn't just have the zombies like you would get in Resident Evil. It's got like how humanity's turning against itself as well, a lot like The Walking Dead do, where humanity, the people are worse than the actual clickers, which I find like really interesting as well. And Al says it's the worst game ever, and it just shows what he knows about video games, really.
I feel glad I
Because
didn't
he's
finish
got
it.
no heart. When he saw that first scene where everyone's cries their eyes out, I was like, "Come on, when's the gameplay going to start?"
I didn't cry my eyes out at that scene, but I have to agree with what Mark's saying that The Last of Us is a phenomenal game. The first one, absolutely fantastic. It's another one of them video games that is everything that film should be.
That first scene annoyed me so much. I hated the game after that.
Oh, mate,
I've got a daughter. I've got daughters. So when I was playing it, it was like, how would I have reacted in that situation? So maybe I'm coming at it from a different angle.
You're just an old bastard, that's all.
I'm a human being, so that's why I cried at it. You see,
I didn't cry at any of it, but I didn't finish it. I got about halfway through and started playing something else, and I've been kicking myself that I've never gone back to it, so I've got the remaster to go back to now.
But when you drop into that first time you see those clickers, when you drop into it's a shop, isn't it? And you've got to try and work your way through. It's like a shopping mall, and you drop in, and you've got to work your way around to climb up that fucking thing. It frustrated the hell out of me, but it also was like so fucking. I don't. It was really like shit scary, I guess, is what I'm going for. I don't normally scare dead easily, but the minute them clickers come at you, you're like, fuck, run.
Well, that's the worst thing you can do with the clickers because they'll hear you. So it's like it builds the tension even more, doesn't it? It's like do I run or do I try and stay hidden? It's it's not just shoot them in the head.
I was having fun shivving them, but they kept running out of shivs.
He's quite fun to shiv.
Here we go.
I love
Chris
shivving.
agrees with me. Everyone raves about it. Yeah, just an average game. See,
The first one's a fantastic game. The second one's average, I think. I haven't completed it, to be fair. I've just given it my mate as well to play, so I'm not going to complete it anytime soon. But I think the first one's fantastic. Second one's a bit meh from what I've played so far.
No,
I wish I knew which game pulled me away from it. It must have been good.
Hey,
Sorry,
guys,
go ahead.
I'm going to say goodbye now because I think Wooders wants to get on and I've got to go to bed anyway. So I'm absolutely wankered from
No,
earlier.
no,
Thanks,
All
Steve.
right. I'll
Have
catch
fun.
you later.
yeah, Steve.
All right.
Night, mate.
All right.
Bye.
Sorry, you were saying, sorry. When I said the second one's a bit meh.
So I agree with Retro 48K, and it's a great movie, but an average game. I always said it's a great piece of entertainment. Right? It's not a great game; it's a great entertainment.
Yeah.
So it's just that whole package of what it is. I agree. The game is a bit average, samey. There's just a lot of searching drawers and shit like that, and then trying to get past the enemies and stuff. But the thing is, the whole package of it is just like nothing else. It's just such a phenomenal piece of entertainment.
I've just got to stop you there for a second, Eddie, because I think we've got someone here who might have an opinion on this.
It's like what?
Good evening, Wooders.
Yeah. How you doing? All right. Yeah. What I want to say before you go, you really fucked me up here because you fucked off. Everyone's had enough of this stream anyway. Who's already on it? Yeah. And they're all going to be going in like 10 minutes anyway. That's a fact. And even more so that now I'm here. So you've thrown me under the bus. You've sank the bloody shit. Yeah, as captain. And bloody Koopas World's gone. He said no to all night.
That's because he's fucking depressed himself with that first game. He made Nintendo depress him.
Yeah.
It's good to see you all anyway.
So when I was in Chorley the other day, when you saw me going to CEX the other week,
I knew you were going to ask me this.
Why didn't you say something?
Right, I'm going to tell you something. It's the most ironic bloody answer you can ever have. Because, right, I saw you going into CEX, right? That's a true story. I had an appointment at Specsavers. This is true. I saw you going in, an appointment at Specsavers because my eyesight's bad. But I saw you going in, so I couldn't really chat to you because we're going to Specsavers. But I saw you. So it's a true story. Yeah, true story.
You never know when I'll appear in Chorley. It's fun.
Well, you know when you see someone, it's one of the things when you see someone, you think, I recognise that person, but you don't want to act like a dickhead by saying, "Oh, are you?" No, I'm not. No. So it's one of them, isn't it?
I'd have been like awestruck. Somebody recognised me from YouTube. What the fuck's going on?
Well, I did. And I sent you a message, didn't I, on one of your videos that I haven't watched.
I might just start, while people are talking, just start showing random horror games just in the background. Just bad ones.
Do you know what really pisses me off about YouTube? When people start doing themed Alone in the Dark. I've got that. Have you got that with the... I've not got the game, but I've got the actual figure and the box that came out, the limited... Well, it's not limited, but it's like a box that you open. You know, have you got it?
I haven't got it.
If anybody has it, it's likely to be Ross, to be fair, and if he doesn't have it.
I've seen it at the car boot, but it was fucking destroyed. So I was like, I'll leave that behind.
No, the game's dreadful. So no, I don't buy anything to do with it other than that.
Is it bad? I've never played it.
It's genuinely awful. It's so frustrating because like when you pause the game, it doesn't pause. It just opens up a jacket which you have to enemies still come for you. Me and my mate played it, and he got so pissed off and so angry at it, a spot popped on his head.
It's even worse on the Wii with the controls. It's nearly
The best
unplayable on
was
the
the
Wii.
PS3 one because they started updating it. It's called like Alone in the Dark Inferno or something.
Yeah, that's the one. I completed that one. I give up on the Wii one.
Yeah, that's the better version of it. But yeah, the other two are fucking dreadful.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was on the Wii, to be honest with you.
So, Bossman, where are we up to in terms of games? You're in charge, Al.
Well,
Well, it's
Cole's
Woodland,
already-
isn't it? Woodland, obviously, the next choice. What game have you got?
What were you talking about? What game have we got?
horror games. It's Halloween. Come on.
Well, I mentioned it in the comments before. Corpse Party. I love Corpse Party on the PSP. And do you know what's the funny thing is? It came out on the Xbox One. Oh, see that one? Yeah, is that Blood Drive?
That is Blood Drive.
Yeah. See, I haven't that one. I don't know that version, but I just know the original version. But some weird shit going on in that game.
Oh, it's a fucking strange game. That
It is a very strange game.
What's the
But it's
pro
brilliant.
version?
It's brilliant. It's like one of those games where whatever you choose, it's like one of those adventure books. You know, turn to page 67 if you want to kill a bloody dragon, and then you go there. It's one of those kind of things.
it's like
in that
the
game.
Doki Literature Club goes mental. It's like that for an entire game. That's the
Yeah,
way
yeah. It's
Isn't-
really, really
isn't
good.
the PSP one like more sprite based though than this one? This is like 3D graphics.
They're not 3D. Nah.
No,
like,
it's the
actually when
same.
you're walking
It's the
around, it's
same.
like 2D, 3D.
No, it's still top down.
No, it's still the same. Yeah.
I've never
Yeah.
heard of any of them.
You're joking?
No, I've
Well,
never heard of them yet.
It's not a game
It
series.
never got released physically over here. It was only in Japan on PSP, but you could get it as a download.
Yeah.
Couldn't you?
Well, it came on 3DS as a is it a Japanese version or something like that? And
I thought the
really, really
3DS
wanted
had
it then.
the first one, but the problem is you have to play them in order. Otherwise, this just makes no sense. It just like continues on.
yeah. But it is brilliant. I absolutely loved it. I just love the way that it could take you either way. Whatever you picked could take you in a different direction. I love Corpse Party. Really, really good. And then when I saw, like I said, when I saw it on the Xbox One just 2 weeks ago, I think it was something like that. I've got
I
it.
genuinely didn't know it was on Xbox One. Genuinely didn't.
Yeah. It's there now. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I haven't played it yet, but I've got it.
I didn't know about that. I thought this was the last one, to be honest.
Yeah,
But,
so the
if you
more
like
obscure
that,
little
what
horror
you like,
games-
Woodland, is Criminal Girls, invite only. That's
What the
another
hell
good
is
one.
that? What the hell is that?
Ross is going to get it out.
Is it one of them Wafu ones or whatever you
What?
call them?
Yes, well, that's a bit like this.
Oh, waifu. Is it
Waifu,
is it waifu, is it?
Waifu? Yeah, I know.
It's
It's a dungeon crawler, and you level your characters up by spanking them and putting lotion on them.
Honestly, I
Holy
think
shit,
it's
that's
actually a
day
really
one
good
release.
game. It's actually a really good game, though, I think.
So, what Retro 48K is saying there, I bought Soma and I've still yet to fucking play it.
I've never played Soma. Is it done by the same people who did Amnesia? It is, isn't it?
I don't know. I bought it digitally on Xbox.
They wouldn't remember.
You get to play it.
That's cheesy.
I'm glad somebody got it.
You're going to get a new host now because this guy's been moaning at me in WhatsApp all night saying I ain't said nothing. So we're going to see if he can do a better job.
No, I'm already here. I'm here, Al.
I'm going to
Al, I'm here.
Oh, you can switch
Al,
me
I'm
out.
here.
Yeah, you
Play
do.
in, switch
No.
out.
Look at Paul's had enough. Paul, you're fucking staying.
Just
No,
take me out.
you made a mistake. No, Paul, you made a mistake by saying you want to go. Don't do that because now you're staying. Yeah.
Right.
When you do something like that, no, Paul,
Chaos.
Paul, you're fucked up. You're staying now, lad.
All right. That's fine. I'll stay.
Yeah.
I don't care.
No, you'll stay. You see, when somebody's so disinterested, nobody's bothered about when they go. But you just said, "Oh no, I'll go." No, you're not going anywhere. It's one of them.
Who is it then, Carl? Who would you pick?
It's Steve's coming in. Steve's coming in. Bloody hell, get him in.
I can't. Someone has to leave.
I thought you were leaving.
I tell you what, Wallace is next.
No, Mert's not going nowhere.
Obviously, I'm just getting married on Thursday. I think she wanted to spend some time with us.
That's your
today.
excuse for everything these fucking days, Mert. That's your excuse for everything. That's your excuse for everything. I'm getting married. I've left YouTube for 2 months because I'm getting fucking married. You won't cut anymore, pal. You've lost your lives.
Drop me
It's not this From Software game yet, Mark. You can't go anywhere.
Oh,
come on. I played that game, by the way. I played that game.
So, well, before you bring Steve in, let Mark show his last game.
Oh, no.
I'm fucking
here he is.
Now then, Al, you're looking good, Al. I think it's the hat.
Just caught the Warsteiner just for you.
Scouse bastard. Where
That's a German. That's a German stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's an amazing beer.
That's the beer that gets served at most weddings that you go to. I don't know why, but it is. That I always find anyway.
Well, talking of beer, I'm going to go get another one.
Oh, good lad.
We're all good.
I knew he won't let us down. He's not going to let us down, is he?
How you doing, Paul?
Oh, good, mate.
Oh, hang on. Let me move this mic.
Al's just appeared like a magician. It's fucking David Blaine, that guy. Bloody hell.
We need to bring more cushions in the room, you reckon, Winterfoot?
People leave and they have it. That's it. They lose their spot once they leave.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Let's let Mark show his last game, and then Mark wants to go and spend some time with his missus. So
it's going to be dark. So I was going to be here for about 2 hours.
No.
Can you take your camera phone next door to introduce us all to your missus, though? Your new bride. How about that? There's a nice
do that. Yeah. Come on, then.
No, she really wouldn't want to. That'd be the scariest thing on the fucking tonight, man. She wouldn't like that.
The video that he showed us earlier was just hilarious.
Oh, with the
like going screaming, but like a massive smile on her face. And your missus like proper scolding you. Oh man, that was quality.
Yeah, I can imagine Mark swinging from the Tyne Bridge with his bollocks. What Steve just asked.
Okay, I will show last one. Master of Darkness for the Master System. I was going to show.
Very good.
I was going to show Castlevania for the Nintendo, but I thought Eddie would have showed that at some point. So I just wanted.
Everyone's going to show Castlevania, so. Tell us about that game, because I've never played that.
So basically, Nintendo, they ruled the roost, didn't they, in the 80s? And a lot of companies like Capcom and Konami, they said you can't release...
Well, they didn't rule the roost in the UK in the 80s, did they?
They basically told companies like Capcom and Konami you can't release certain titles on the Master System.
Yeah. But, I know what you're saying, but you got to regionalize it. 80s was so regional, wasn't it? You know what I mean? So
but with Nintendo having the power to tell Capcom and Konami they can't release games on certain systems because they only want them on Nintendo. I mean, that was quite a big deal, wasn't it?
Yeah. I know what you mean. No, I know what you mean, mate.
Yeah. So like the Master System, it couldn't get Castlevania, so obviously it was a massive hit. And Sega wanted their Castlevania on the Master System, and it's the closest thing that you'll get on the Master System to a Castlevania game. It's got all the elements of a Castlevania. It hasn't got the whip. It's got other weapons. It's got guns and axes and stuff like that. But it's set in Victorian London, like the time of Jack the Ripper. But you've still.
It sounds better. It sounds better than if you got guns and stuff like that.
You've got like a little pistol. It's not like proper machine guns and stuff. You've got like a little pistol.
Is it underappreciated? This is a hidden gem, isn't it? This is a hidden fucking gem, lad.
What?
That's what we're talking about here, isn't it?
A lot more people have been talking about it recently, but it is an absolute. It's not. I don't think it's as good as Castlevania, but it's the best you'll get on the Sega.
Well, if Metal Jesus doesn't say it's a hidden gem, it's fucking not, right? So let's just put that straight, right? Now.
I'm called a big fan of Metal Jesus. Like he's a big fan. Aren't you?
Saying it's a hidden gem. It's a hidden gem. If Steve's saying it's a hidden gem.
Well, Metal Jesus, he'd probably say it was one of the 10 holy grails that he got that week. You know, he likes the term. I hate the term holy grail because there can only be one, and someone gets one every week.
All right, well, let's just say though, it's a good game. Then
it's a fantastic game. And if you ever want to play Castlevania and you haven't got a Nintendo, you've got a master.
It is brilliant.
That
is a good game, by the way.
Well, actually, that's what this stream should be more about, because everyone's going to say the obvious, aren't they? Resident Evil, blah blah blah. But games like that most people haven't even fucking heard of or played. Well, I have never. You know, I think that's far more interesting to a lot of people than Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, or 0, whatever. You know, I think that's really interesting actually, and the way you described that as.
Just for bear.
You gave the history of it and stuff. So that was really good. I think we need more of that shit, I think.
So you can pick it's about 30.
This is a one that it's not a Resident Evil or Silent Hill. Cat the Ripper, is that all right for you?
That's tell us about that, Eddie. Tell us about that.
It's got it's like it plays like D. It's like them slideshow kind of games where it's like you going around and doing an adventure, but the thing is, you go in to have a dinner with Adolf Hitler. So,
nice. Like Myst with Adolf Hitler? Is it like Myst with Adolf Hitler? Is that like Myst with Adolf Hitler? Yeah.
Adolf Mistler.
But I like the box art on that. Is that why you bought it? Because it looks fucking great. I think.
Pretty much. It's got the word cat in it. Horror themed, and it's on the Sega Saturn.
But like the Japanese box art is fucking really good in it. Let's be honest. You know.
So given that, where are we at, Al? You're in charge. Who's next?
Well, accuracy. What game were you both all talking about a second ago? Because I missed it. I was pissed.
Mark, show the game we were talking about.
Oh, Master of Darkness, mate.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. And it's about £35-ish now on eBay, so it's one of those ones that I think will just go up. I don't think it'll go down much.
It's Master System Castlevania, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, say about the history of that. Sorry, Eddie. Sorry, mate.
As well, you know, you were talking about, it's better because it's got guns. It's got guns in the fact you've got weapons on Castlevania that are very similar. You've only got like a certain amount of bullets, sort of thing, so you can't just go running and gunning.
I didn't mean it like that. Yeah.
But Sega got a history of doing that, haven't they? They reinvented a lot of games that or genres they looked at like Zelda. What did Sega? Phantasy Star, wasn't it? And
Golden Axe Warrior is there, Zelda, isn't it?
And Landstalker, was it Landstalker as well? Was a lot like
they also in the 90s they fell out with the EA massively, didn't they, in the Dreamcast era? So Sega just said, "Fuck you, we're doing Sega Sports." And to be fair, like some of those games were pretty good.
What was that other one? The Mega
Dreamcast
Solio or something? That's a bit Zelda, isn't it?
Well, is that actually by Sega though?
It's not by Sega, I don't think. Let's find out.
Although he does have Sonic sunbathing. So, like halfway through it.
What's it called? It's called Crusader of Senti, isn't it, in America?
Yeah. So it's actually because that's like about £500 game in America, but it's going up to about £100 It seems.
Yeah, it's about 100. I was going to buy it about 30 not long ago, and I looked. I'll pick that up at a different time and looked it up. It's about 70. I was like,
Speaking of surprisingly expensive games, I was picking up games to come onto the stream, and that's fucking gone up, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That.
It's about £50 now.
No, it's about 150 nearly.
No, it's not
going down.
It's not that bad.
You can get it for 35.
It's close to 50 on PS3. It's about 30.
I saw it today, actually.
What's brilliant about it as well, you get all the original games on it as well. Once you can unlock the originals.
I got for £15 in fucking CX, I think, or something years ago.
It's 38 in CEX now.
It's about,
love it.
30. It's about 30 on the on 360. It's not.
All I'm going to say is I didn't think it was that good when I played it.
You
I
didn't like
thought
it?
I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
It's like that grasshopper industry style game, innit? It's like the gameplay is a bit meh, but there's something about it that just keeps you playing it. It's brilliant.
It reminded me of Shadows of the Damned. You know, it wasn't a great game, but
next game.
there you go.
That's a good game.
The humor and stuff. That's
that's Grasshopper. That's Grasshopper Industries. Shadow of the Damned.
So this is a weird.
It's very
like
feeling.
Yeah, it's a third person.
You get to play with your big boner, don't you?
Game, innit? Yeah.
I'm going to introduce
that big bonus stage when you're like shooting a big cock. That's
I'm going to introduce something the Sony Ponies have only just got.
I finished it last week.
It's phenomenal. Absolutely brilliant.
I finished it last week.
It's very Stephen King-esque in that it's just got the best narrative I've seen for a horror game. I really like. I enjoyed it. In fact, I own it in 4 ways now because I own it digitally. I bought the special edition. I own the original thin Xbox edition. I own the remaster.
I don't believe Remedy have made a bad game, have they?
Was that Quantum Break or whatever it was called? Was
Quantum
that one? Was it? I've never played it. It was Xbox exclusive. I played the rest.
Yeah,
that's the only one I haven't played is Quantum Break, but I've got it to play. So.
The only thing about Alan Wake that put us off was his running mechanics, like the way he ran and how he couldn't jump. You know, like it just.
Well, you know that was supposed to be an original Xbox game, and then it was going to be a launch title for the 360, and then I think it was about 3 years later it came out. It took forever to come out. They really put a lot of time into it.
Did the remaster still have branded batteries?
I've not gone into the remaster.
I never noticed. It just said said batteries.
No, the original was like every time you pick it up, it's like Energizer lasts longer.
Oh no, it didn't have none of that. No.
And then
you changed your orientation, mate. You used to be the other way around, didn't you? That way.
So the other remaster I want to introduce, given that Ross has that T-shirt on, is this. This is the actual third Ghostbusters film
by a long way. Yeah.
Well, it was
is that the same? Is that the same as the previous gen version?
It's the remaster of the 360 version.
Yeah. It's a good game, man. Very good game.
By the same team. It was everything.
It's a combination of the third script they wrote and brand new material for the game.
Carries on from the second film.
You know, that's the best thing about YouTube. I had it in my collection for years and just never played it. And you know, people have been doing the free games you need to play. Pete Fighter, he said, this is one of the games that you need to play. And I went, I like Pete. He's got good taste. And I put it on that day and I completed it within a day and just fully enjoyed it. That's the best thing about YouTube. You know, just
don't play that one. That one's dreadful.
I really want to play that one though.
Well,
there's something about it. It looks alright.
I've not bought it yet.
It's dreadful.
Eddie's going to buy it now.
Well,
the problem is it's a twin stick shooter, but a really shit one.
This game ever made though. This game is fucking fantastic.
Now, Eddie, tell me about that one compared to the one that came out by Ocean on the Micros.
Yeah, so this is by HAL Laboratories, which you can tell by the top.
Yeah, what's the differences? Because the first level of the Ocean game, I think you were going down the sewer and you were blasting the hands at the side and stuff.
So this is like a top-down Ghostbusters game where you choose 2 different Ghostbusters. So you only have 2 buttons there on the controller. Controller A, you basically run around as one guy, and then the second guy follows you around. But button A does like your proton pack, and button B does the trap with the second guy. So it's kind of like you kind of got to get everyone positioned. Oh, it's absolutely great. It's like chibi styled, like sort of Zelda over the top.
So that looks that sounds a far better game.
It's a remake of the Game Boy one, isn't it? But slightly upgraded.
Oh, I didn't know that actually.
Yeah.
So how laboratories make Pokemon, don't they?
No, it's Kirby these make.
Yeah, they make Kirby.
Well, I'm pretty sure how laboratories do.
No, it's Games Lab, is it? Pokemon.
It's Game Freak.
Game Freak, that's it. Pokemon.
So there's also that Ghostbusters.
Yeah, the Mega Drive one's really. It's hard. It's very hard.
It's too hard. That's the only problem.
I'll ruin one of my pickups, shall I?
So I'll go into Dana's last comment, the one where he talks about a certain alien game. Not that one. This was my other game.
I'm on
This was my other game to show. This is just so fucking amazing to play. You have no weapon, and you've got to hide and run, and it is true survival horror.
I brought that as well. Yeah,
it's true survival horror, like the genre should be.
The problem with that game is it's too long. It would work better as a shorter experience.
I suppose so. But then, if it was shorter, people would say it was too short. So
yeah,
you can't win. You can't win with. They can't win, can they? Developers, they can't win.
I was just going to share. It's one I bought off Ow. It's the Ghostbusters 2 you don't want on the NES. The shit one.
Well, tell me about tell me about that one as well, because the Ghostbusters that I played as a kid was on the micros, and it was I think it was by Ocean. I might be corrected, but and it was quite faithful to the film. It's different, like sub levels, a bit like Batman the movie was, but Batman movie is a far better game by Ocean. Or actually, it was Activision as well. I think I'm sure it was Activision.
I have to try and remember because I haven't played this.
The first level, you're getting lowered down the sewer. And the hands are coming out from each side. And you got to blast out. You got to get to the bottom, get whatever you get, and then go up.
Yeah, is it the one you bounce down all the way, and the next level, like, you're the Statue of Liberty, aren't you?
In the last level, you're the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, there's two versions. There's one version which skips a level and goes. It might be something stupid like the Atari version, which does that, then straight to the Statue of Liberty. But I can't remember. I haven't played that since picking it up, so I can't guarantee what that one's like, but I know it's a shit one.
Lads, can I just jump? I am going to go because she's doing a nut a bit. I can hear her banging on the door.
he's missing his gagging for it. He's got to go. It's all right.
Mate, she wants the D, lad. She wants the D.
No, the bin men come tomorrow and I haven't put the bag out yet. I think she wants to do that.
Here you go. This is what you need to give her.
Hold on.
Look at the look at the specimen of this Geordie. Of course, she wants it.
Just before I go, I just want to say Doom 3 is the best Doom because of the horror elements to it. I'll just leave you on that. Thanks, lads. Enjoy myself.
Is Wooders going to come back?
There he is.
I'm already on it, Steve. I'm not that bad.
I just want to say something. A couple of things. Mark was dying to fucking go then, right? Yeah. And the other thing was, Bawhawhaw, he didn't want to answer your fucking question.
It's the shittest speech ever.
And otherwise, Doom is the shittest franchise ever made. It is a shit game. It's not a good game ever. Any way, shape, or form. Continue.
Is that it? There's no rhetorical. Are you going to give us the answer to what is the best?
What is the best what?
Game. What's better than Doom?
Bayonetta.
Well, I'll give you Bayonetta's a good game.
Is it Eddie's thinking? Yeah.
No, to be fair, like I understand, Carl. I understand where you're coming from. Really,
I think Vanquish is better than Bayonetta, but Bayonetta.
No. I mean, with Doom, when it came out, when it came out, it was jaw dropping. Everyone loved it, and Wolfenstein 3D was the same before it, but it was quite limited. Duke Nukem 3D was the first game of that type that really fucking engaged me, because I could go to the toilet and flush the fucking thing
Oh,
Press the button and flush it.
Good lad.
Well, it
Good
went
lad.
too far with Forever when you could pick the shit up out of the toilet.
I was wondering where he was going with that then, Steve. But he delivered.
Well,
No,
I mean,
there's shit games. There's
Do you know
shit.
what? Again, keeping in the horror franchise and stuff. Do you know what?
Yeah,
There was a period of time that you could tell when a game was good because it put a lot of detail in the toilets. Like you could do a lot of things in there, like I don't know, dry your hands or whatever, or flush the toilet.
Yeah, but
Or-
it had more
But it
personality
was,
to it,
it's like
didn't
the
it?
detail that if they put a lot of detail in the toilets, you know you was going to get a good game.
But,
It's weird.
but that sort of that peaked in Half-Life in the 90s, didn't it? Where you
It was
could
around
speak
the
to
90s
people,
where the
you
toilets
could
were
do all that shit.
everything.
Yeah.
It's not horror, but Deus Ex nailed like being able to do all different shit.
Shit, that's
It
shit
also-
games too. Deus
also-
Ex, that franchise, shit.
The first one's great. The rest is
No,
shit.
it's not. It's not. It's shit.
So
It's
Crotch Rocket is Grush Newton.
Dishonored.
Yeah, we know it is.
A lot of them.
Yeah. Electric Crotch Rocket is Grush Newton's new mountain biking channel, or it's not new anymore. He's been doing it for ages. So you got to subscribe to that because he's a mad bastard. He goes downhill on mountain bikes.
Yeah, he falls off a lot.
Does he want to buy a classic downhill mountain bike? Because I got one for sale.
Well, that's the same with Adrian, isn't it? From 16-Bit Brothers. He's a mountain
I'm not
bike.
going to argue with this fucker. He's definitely right. Hands down,
John
right.
makes me laugh. It's like he puts his head in a turtle, but the turtle's smaller than he is.
The first one on PS4 is good. What one was that? I think is that the really bad one?
What, Doom?
Yeah, that is terrible.
They're
That's
all
just Doom.
they're all exclusive to Xbox now. So
The one just
That
called
one-
Doom is good. That's
Right,
good.
fucking
That's
brilliant.
it's all right.
No, I don't
Oh
like that
my
one.
god, that was such a revelation into like first-person shooters. It just brought it back to how it was, like picking up armor. You don't have to. The thing is, like before that Doom came out, there was every first-person shooter. You'd get hit, then you'd wait around the corner trying to get the health back, and it was just a load of waiting around. Where this, it was just like fast-paced first-person shooting, like it used to be back in the 90s. And they brought
It's like
a good
Straight
fun
from
shooting
punch
back.
something in the throat. That's what that was.
Doom 64 for me
Hey,
is the
Google.
best.
100%.
No.
I'll be
Doom
honest with
remake.
you. I still can't
That's
play an
the
FPS game properly with a controller, no matter what the console. For me, because I grew up on a PC with the mouse and keyboard, the control you have on it with a mouse, it's just brilliant and far superior to any controller. You know.
Well, you're an old bastard that uses mouse and keyboard.
No, but it's far superior. It is far superior when you're looking
Well, you
around
can do
and
that
up and
on
down.
PlayStation, you know, even PlayStation 3, you could do mouse and keyboard on certain games.
You
Yeah,
realise
but the pain in the arse, Eddie, and it's not like practical to crack it out just for the game. And
you can do mouse and
Series
keyboard.
Series X has keyboard mouse support. Most.
I was about
Have you
to say,
seen?
yeah,
Have you seen
so
the
easily do
360
it with
mouse?
Series X.
No,
He was himself now.
You need to find the 360 mouse. It's just like so obscure. It's amazing.
Oh, I need that.
It's like an entire controller.
Can we all
built
ask
on a
Grush
mouse.
Newton? Can we all ask Grush Newton though? When is his channel returning?
It is.
We
Look, it's
we need a bit of Grush Newton loft retro gaming back on YouTube.
has he got a fireproof laptop anymore? Is that the problem?
Well, I don't know. I know he burnt a burger in his oven once, and it literally went on fire. I don't know how someone does that.
Should we keep
saw
talking?
that video.
Fine.
Can I just say, Steve, if you literally burn something in your oven and it catches on fire, that is literally burning something.
No, but it was literally
No,
out of the oven. No,
that's
it
what you
wasn't
said.
burnt, was it?
No,
No,
Steve, that's what you said.
the
So-
flame was that big.
No,
The
no,
flame was that
no,
big.
what-
The flame was
Yeah,
that
the
big.
flame, it doesn't matter how flame it is, how big it is. If it's burning, it's going to burn out, lad. Yeah? A flame is a flame.
Okay. And on that note, yeah, Grush is a tough fella. He's a small man,
He's-
but a
he's a-
nice
he's
man.
a- he's
So-
a top man.
So this horror game stream has transcended into drunken fuckers talking shit
Well, I know how the end of every stream ends.
I'm
Is it
joking.
not-
I've never been on a stream that just doesn't devolve into complete bollocks.
Is it
Like,
like?
Isn't a burger in an oven like on fire quite
Anyway,
scary?
there's a
Like,
film. There's a film. What a film!
Yes,
the
what
original.
is
Okay,
it?
shame,
Right,
Phil,
we all
shame.
live.
Let's
I
get
thought
out
this was
showing us
off-
some horror
off-screen.
games.
Can I
Out,
say we
horror
are
games.
live on Channel 4 and please do not say fuck or bugger.
I thought this is off stream now. Thought
No,
it was
this is
after
live.
show party. Steve only ever does after show parties, so I thought that's why it was
This
here.
is why we've got live comments still.
Oh jeez, I didn't even see that. Bloody hellfire!
So
Yeah,
can
this
we
is a
bring
rare
up-
treat. This is a rare treat. This is why I'm Addy sneak a peek.
You
Can
were
we
never
just
live,
sneak-
Steve. Never.
Can we just bring up that Steve lost the retro gaming quiz the other day?
Yeah.
Sorry, and
Yeah.
to be fair, Eddie, I'm not a cyber kid.
Can we bring up that Al is the next contestant on the retro?
And to be
game?
fair, Al
Because
portrays
Eddie-
himself as a cyber kid,
Eddie-
and he's got
Neil
less knowledge
points.
than me.
Neil Parr.
Al, you've got a lot. You've got a lot on your shoulders. You know, you need to keep it going.
I've got a pint glass and I've got a bottle of wine, so I'm good.
No, to be
Al
fair,
is
though,
only
I
going to be
think-
good at fucking cases, like box art is what he's good at.
That's
Don't
the
play it.
only thing I get any questions right on. What a FIFA
Eddie,
one.
you did that last week, and even like, I mean, with some of the questions, like you know something, but you don't know it, and that was a lot because I was ahead into the last round on my thing, and in the last round I just fucked up totally because I knew things I didn't know them.
Yeah,
but even you,
I
Eddie,
won't do it because
you
I
got the
freeze
same,
under
weren't you?
pressure.
Well,
No,
I was going to be behind from the start, so we're fine.
Yeah.
But what I'm hoping is the pressure is going to make Al know answers that he didn't know before. He's going to go the opposite.
Hopefully. I've got a game to show. We're going to get it back onto the horror game.
Yeah,
I've
let's
got
go
one
horror.
left. One left I've got. It's for the PlayStation 2. It's an absolute belter of a game. It's Zombie Virus.
Have you played it?
I have. You get to drive around in an ambulance, running over zombies and saving survivors. It's brilliant.
So it's
I love
turned
how
the
I'll
game
bring up a
on
game
one
and
that's
at
getting-
least one person goes, "Have you played it?"
Imagine GTA, where you only get to drive an ambulance and everyone's a zombie except for a few survivors.
Sounds good.
You
Have
get
you
this.
played it?
I played a little bit, not much. Like the first level.
So I was going to pull out Stubbs the Zombie, but I didn't think that was much of a horror.
There's a game on the
It's a
Xbox
very
One.
loose,
called Zombie
very
Driver,
loose
which
thing,
is
though, isn't
exactly
it,
that
Paul?
game.
You know, you got away with that, mate.
I don't mind people
Very
talking.
horror-y,
If
look.
we talk horror, like there's horror, but this is a Halloween stream, and sometimes
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Halloween, not horror. Halloween, not horror. Yeah. So anything like that, really, you know.
I've got a skeleton mask, skeleton glass.
Have you
Tell you what,
refilled that
you've
yet?
been
Or is that still the
nursing
same
that
one now?
Yeah, one bottle's gone. I'm on the second bottle now. I've used a bit of that.
That's all right then, because
I was gonna
I've
say,
been cut since I necked this in about fucking 20 minutes.
What the bloody hell is that? It's green. Alan,
Is
that's fucking green.
It's gin and tonic.
It's green in the skull.
I'll tell you off stream.
No, I don't know what it is. It
What
looks
is
like
it?
a Bailey.
I don't think it's legal. I don't think it's legal for me to tell you what it is on stream.
Oh,
so
you
I
can
wait.
tell us on stream, Al.
Oh,
I'm sure
I'm with
the,
you. I'm with
fucking
you.
alcohol fucking people aren't looking at this shit.
You can't say it. It's what's growing his hair back.
Yeah.
Well, can I have some because I'm fucked? Honestly, I'm receding like hell, and I've never
So
done the green stuff.
Is
I need some
anyone
of that
played
juice. I need some of that juice. No, nobody's played it, but you're showing that because it's like a £1,000 game or some shit like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite an expensive one, yeah.
Is it? Well, there you go then.
It
There you
ain't
go.
that bad.
Nah, it's about 40.
But I watched Eddie's video. Eddie doesn't think. You see, I say this. I said it to somebody. I watched your recent game room tour, Eddie.
Oh yeah,
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I didn't think it was like that actually. and then you were talking about your cat knocking off your stuff, and I can prove it. I can prove it what I'm talking about. It took your cat knocking off your stuff in your game room tour and stuff like that.
So
where is it? Where is it?
It's in the cube. Look.
What's your cat's name?
So look, you've got them just like nestling out.
See, you've got two of those tiger. You got two of those tiger thingies. Yeah.
So that's Fidget. That one.
Fidget. Right. Okay. And then you showed your PS. You've got you and you said the most valued game in your collection is the PS2. Is it Sengoku?
Oh yes, yeah. I put it in a box.
Yeah, £1,000.
Yeah, one sold just over £1,000. It sold for.
See, I watch it. I watch all these videos.
Carl, the best thing about that video, though, mate, right, is what you didn't see.
Well, I saw in the background in the corners.
No, not this room. He's got another room.
That's where Dylan sleeps.
No, but genuinely, he's got another room with other cool stuff in.
Yeah, because I don't do most of my gaming up here. I do it downstairs. So I've got like 2 CRTs.
Oh, I didn't know that. Right.
I've got 3 CRTs downstairs, 3 Bang & Olufsens, and then I've got an arcade machine, and then what I'm doing my living room gaming on.
It's got to be the next layer down, and that's where his sex dungeon is.
So Eddie, that was a shit video then. Why did you do a shit video? Why didn't you do the proper video?
Well, that was the game room tour. We're not doing the game house tour.
Oh, you need to do you need to do the other one.
Well, I might do a bonus round.
I'm looking forward to that then, because I watched that one. I watched your toy and all your Doom figure. I hate Doom, but you did the Doom box on the shelf, and then you did the Doom figure that's in your display. See, I watched it. I watched all these videos. I can prove it. I've just spoken about it.
He's done videos downstairs, though, hasn't he? So
no, I've never seen this other video. I've never seen the other video in the other room. Never.
His gameplay.
I do them quite a lot.
I haven't seen those.
Oh, so yeah, Gruss wants to see my deodorant collection because
honestly,
I think Russ has been watching the Yorkshire on 66.
Do you know what? Isabella came home, right? Isabella, my daughter, she watches YouTube videos all day long, right? And I just said to her, look at this title of a YouTube video. Here's my deodorant collection. I said, what the hell is this all about? But he's bringing out the big guns. High Karate, Old Spice, Brute. They're big guns, honestly. I can't fault the guy.
What about the collection? A bit of advice, Wooders. Please don't let your daughter watch any more of Yorkshire.
I watched it. Yeah, I'll let it. Well, yeah. That's a fair comment, Steve.
But Steve, I think what you need to do right now is to prove yourself with the cinnamon challenge.
If we had any cinnamon, I would. Yeah. Well, I've been asking him on his comments, Yorkshireman 66, for ages, because he does his food pickups. It's normally pasties or pies from fucking Pound Bakery or whatever. But I've been saying to him, you need to do cinnamon challenge.
Steve, before you carry on, I'll give us your first time review of Pound Bakery because you had it in Blackpool. Let's have it live.
Oh, it was awful.
Yeah.
It was probably the worst. Like, to get 2 pasties for £1, it was probably the worst thing you can get. I bit into it and it had like no flavour to it. All this meat just come out. I don't even know if you can call it meat, but yeah, something come out of it. And I had 2 hash browns of it for 50p, and they were so dry. I literally ended up throwing half of it away.
But Al, in London,
never heard of Pound Bakery till Al mentioned it.
You couldn't have a pocket wank for that, could you, in fucking London?
Yeah, but at least that tastes good. That did have no flavour to it.
Well, it's common sense, Alan. It's common sense. If you want quality for £1, you're not going to get it, are you, pal?
50p each, 2 for £1.
Yeah, no, it's not. We've got a Pound Bakery in Chorley. And like you've just said, you get 2 sausage rolls for £1. You can't expect them to be quality. You know, you're not going to go to Gordon Ramsay's restaurants and say, what have you got for £1 now, lad?
You mean
he's got nothing?
You don't get nothing. Surely, what's fucking going on?
You know, you've been there recently.
Mike knows. Look, that wasn't me. I don't know what it was.
I'm going to drop off because I'm going to prepare for the road trip in the morning. So,
because you get an extra
everybody and leave everybody on this stream.
What a miserable bastard!
Is James still watching? Because he was going to come on.
Get Dana on.
Oh, he literally has just fucked off.
Dana's in bed.
Who with them?
God knows.
Has it just has the stream stopped now because somebody's left? Is that how this happens?
No.
Is that what happens?
Still live.
I've got some video games to show.
Show me.
Games.
Eddie, show me.
Go next.
Do you want me to show? Do you want me to show you a horror game that is a good horror game series?
Eddie, Steve's go next.
Oh,
fucking love these games.
Do you?
It's so hard. I can't actually complete one.
I hate him. I hate his games.
So hard.
I hate his games the same way as I hate. Who's the other guy who does the Metal Gear games?
Hideo
Kojima.
Kojima, yeah, hate them as well. Shit, all shit. His games, they're just shit. I don't know why they have such a huge following. I really don't get that. Metal Gear games are literally just shit, the whole lot of them. And Shin Megami Tensei, whatever his name is, shit. They are shit.
Oh, I absolutely love them. It's all about flipping worlds ending, like sort of like interdimensional creatures and shit like that. And I just love that, like, I just love the graphical presentation. Okay. They're just, I don't know, they're just beautiful games to me. But the only problem is they get so hard later on, it's just impossible to play. So you know what kind of games these are, then, don't you? So the dungeon crawling RPGs, and that's what I like as well. It's like Pokemon, except demonic. So as well, like you fuse it. So you're going around, you go into the dungeons, and you like capture the creatures and stuff like that. But then you fuse the creatures together to make either a stronger one or something like that, or get something out of it. And it's just, I don't know, there's something really addictive with that. Trying to get a creature that you've not had before. But it's not like Pokemon where it's for kids. This is like adult feeling and stuff like that. It's really cool.
Those games are worth something, by the way. You know that.
A couple of but that doesn't stop them for being like one of my favorite types of game, though. Like I
don't like them. I played is it Deep Space? The one on DS that get remade for the 3DS.
Oh, the Sega game.
Yeah. I can't get into them. I cannot get into them at all. But it's horses for courses, isn't it?
Yeah. The thing is, I got into these realistically with Persona, and like that, I didn't like. I love the dungeon crawling and everything like that, but I didn't like the stuff leading up to it, which was sort of like it was like playing through a diary or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I didn't like it. But this is Persona without that diary-based gameplay. You just dungeon crawling, beating fucking crazy. And okay, Al's got that one.
Yeah. So see that one as well.
But there's also one on the Wii U as well called FE Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which is the Shin Megami Tensei crossed with Fire Emblem.
Yeah,
with like idol-based singing. So it's all like these girls that are like all famous singers and stuff like that. Really good games. Really
I've only got these ones sealed.
Oh, so he's got
we've got another special guest.
Have you got the PlayStation 4 remake of Lucifer's Court?
Hold on, Eddie. We got a special guest. He knows his horror. He might not know about game horror, but
it is a horror stream after all. So
it is. Big Mike.
Hey.
Big Mike.
I don't know sod all about horror.
You do the horror movie stuff, don't you?
Not really. No, I don't know. I'm sort of I don't. really horror movies. I like Chucky and stuff like that, and I know a few of the older ones, and you know, I'm not up on it as much as a lot of the lads. I'm trying to get me bloody tripod out so I can bloody put this on a stand. But can you flip the camera?
Don't show your tripod, for fuck's sake.
I bet getting the beast into the flat was
I thought that was what Carl was waiting for. He wants to go offline. I thought he was going to get naked. Go off the tubes, like
I'll get naked.
Last stream I was in.
It's not that kind of stream.
So Mike, I bet getting the beast into the flat was like pretty much like a horror movie, wasn't it? The trials and tribulations of the beast.
Mate, oh fucking hell! I've got my cousin who's like basically a removals guy anyway. But the guy said to me before he picked it up, he goes, "Oh, it's big, mine. The TV's big." I was like, that's all right. My cousin's a strapping lad, like you know, he knows what he's doing. And the bloke was like, well, I'll help him get it on the van. So him and my cousin somehow got on the van, but my cousin put his back out. So then I had to ring people to like basically say, look, you got to take this TV off the van and up the stairs. Three, well, a couple of youngsters and one of my mates who's a bloke, like, you know. They got up, got halfway up the first flight of stairs and just went, it ain't happening. So I was like, for fuck's sake, I'm up 3 flights of stairs as well. I can't do it because I'm fat as fuck, and I'll just get wedged against the wall trying to.
So what is the beast, Mike? So tell us what this is. Go on.
It's a 37-inch CRT TV.
I don't think they made 37-inch CRTs.
They go up to 40, but it's about 100 kilos in weight. But it's not that. It's just how awkward the size is of it. So basically, my mates are like, oh, we'll just leave it here in the hallway, and I live in a block of flats, and there was a girl living downstairs with a pram and kids at the time. I thought I can't leave that there.
Did he use the pram? Did he fucking use the pram to?
Well, what I had to do, it was Mothering Sunday, and I couldn't get anyone. You know, I got the 3 people I could get, and then they were just like, "Fuck it, we can't do it." So what I ended up having to do, I think I had to ring a removals firm from London. And I think it cost me 150 quid to get 3 flights of stairs.
Fucking hell, mate.
It's like an episode of Space.
You should have got your mum.
You're nowhere near London. You're nowhere near London, though.
No, I know. So they had to come from wherever they were to me to take it up 3 flights of stairs.
You're in Bristol. You're in Bristol. That's 100 miles, isn't it?
Well, it was the first company removals, and it was Mothering Sunday, and they were like, "Yeah, we can do it, but it's going to be 150 quid." And I was like, look, mate, I just need it up the fucking stairs. And fair play, those boys, because they're doing it day in, day out, and they know what they're fucking doing. 2 lads turned up. I thought, fuck me. And they were skinny lads as well. I thought, they ain't never going to fucking do it. But fair shout, they did. They struggled, but they fucking got up.
Mikey, right, you're on hands-free now. Show us the fucking beast. Show us the beast.
Well, I'm not. Hang on.
Show us the beast, lad.
Hang on. 2 secs.
The beast.
You've done it now, Steve, haven't you?
He should have just got champion 2D Rob. He would have carried it by himself.
It's like saying, what if you have for your tea? Well, chuck it up. Let's have a look.
No, I'm not being funny. All the efforts to get this big fucking CRT into his flat. He's got to show us, hasn't he? He's got to show us.
What's your TV? You fucking seen it before.
Yeah, the room is in the bedroom. Hang on.
This will complete the story with us. This will finish the.
All right, go on then, lad. I'll clap. I'll clap when it's done. Go on.
The TV is as big as like Woodland's last. The
TV's as big as me.
You can put something on it, Mike, as well. Put something on it, like. Come on.
Oh, I don't know about that. I've got to find the remotes and everything then.
Is Mike putting trousers on? Is that what it is?
Mike, are you still there? We're all still
I'm still there. I'm moving into the other room.
It's all right.
All right, mate. That's all good. Don't worry.
Take your time.
I'm genuinely scared now that it's going to cut back and then he's hanging dong.
Right, hang on.
Who else is? Oh,
this ain't the Tony stream, you know.
How do I flip camera? Can I not flip camera on this?
We don't know.
No, I don't think you can.
All right, hang on.
It's through like a load of menus.
Just check it around. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Oh.
The beast. So that's moved. That used to be in your front room, didn't it?
No, it needs to be in the front room, but hasn't gone in the front room yet. It needs 2 or 3 of us to move it just to the front room.
Was that another CRT next to it, Mike? Have you got a few there?
No, this is a new pickup. This is a new pickup. Only Eddie knows about this one, which is
oh yeah,
a PS2 TV. So that's
Well, you got another one, haven't you? Got a silver one next to it as well. Is that what I seen there?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's another one there.
So that's a big fucker as well, isn't it? So is that just
but that's
not.
I don't like that because it's a rear projection, so it's not 4x3.
Okay.
So the pictures.
Is this your spare bedroom? Is it, Mike?
This is my only fucking bedroom. It's a right shit pit, but everything's a work in progress. Everything's a work in progress. It's too many games, not enough room.
Right, we all need to come over and sort out Big Mike's room so we could get the beast in the living room.
All of us need to get over there to do that.
This is the thing.
So we'll just go and pick it up.
It's in the living room. So I've got the beast, but for me, even though they've got pretty good subs and all that inside, I've got an Arkham Alpha 7 amplifier, and I've got some Mission Floor standing speakers to run off as well. So ideally, it's going to be the sort of best sort of retro setup that I could sort of put together.
You need to sort it out, Mike. But you need a few people to help you, I think, by the sounds of that.
Yeah, I've got all the pieces. It's just got to get them all put together. That's what it is.
The best thing I have ever done is get like proper SCART switches with like a good amount of them, like not just like the 3 or 4 ones. So then everything is just ready to go with one button.
I've just got one of those.
Oh, the what's it called? Behringer, is it? Not Behringer.
Yeah, but everything else seems to get interference, and even that has problems going from Japanese SCART to British SCART.
Yeah.
If I put
I've drank enough now that like the light behind your head, Mike, you're invisible to me. Like I can't.
Well, the light. I'll be in
it's
complete darkness if I turn that off.
Just blocks you out.
To be fair, though, I'd like to say to Mike, listen, the beard really suits you, mate. Fair play.
The beard is. Everyone's saying to take it off. Everyone's
I think that suits you, mate. I genuinely think it suits you.
It's not very good underneath my chin, though. My dad dropped me when I was little.
I'm not looking under your chin, mate. I'm not looking under your fucking chin.
It's all right. I know that. Got a bald patch.
Yeah, I got to put. I think my dad done so like dropped me when I was little, and I can't grow beard there. Like it's weird. He also picked me up with a cigarette in his mouth, and I got a bloody cigarette burn on my head as well somewhere.
If you ever need a hand with stuff, just you reach out to people. You know, I'm only like.
What was that, Steve? Sorry.
If you ever need help with stuff like that, just reach out to people. I'm like 50 miles. I'm 50 miles away, which is only an hour down the road. You know what I mean?
You're probably about the same.
Yeah.
So,
let's set up a thing. Get the beast in the living room. Let's get it done.
weekend in Bristol. Let's do it.
Well, to be fair, it's a good night out. Hey, Mike, as well, right? While we're there, we could get the Amiga games out of the bath.
Yeah. Mate, they're in the bath. They're in the bed next to me. We
need to see the Amiga games, Mike. So just show us a little sample what you've got, because it's legendary.
Hang on.
This is legendary.
Hang on, 2 seconds. I'll go back to the other room and I'll give you a sneak peek in the next.
Take your time, Mike. Yeah, but this is legendary stuff. Mike having the Amiga games in the bath was this is a legend, but it's a true. You know, it's one of those urban myths that is true. You know, like Purple Aki, or fucking it's Mike with his Amiga game bathtub. You know, so
Purple Aki ain't a myth. They was in the stream earlier.
Growing up as a kid, that was a myth.
That's a crate. That ain't a beer.
I'm genuinely disappointed the Purple Aki's gone.
We've got what's happened? The legend Nigel Booth in here though.
So I've got some Amiga games for you. These are the last ones I picked up.
Go on, mate.
Z-Out.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people thought that was the sequel to X-Shot, but it wasn't, was it?
Is it not?
No, apparently not.
All right. I always it's rainbow white arts. It's got the
I
same.
know, yeah, but I
same
think a lot
logo.
of people thought it was a sequel, but apparently it's not.
Steve, have you fucked up here?
No.
You fucked up. It's a sequel.
No,
Yeah.
it's not. It's not. Google it.
Come on.
Shooter.
Ads will be able to tell us if it's a sequel.
There's a little sneak peek of what's coming up. You see that?
Just a few bits then.
Is that Ninja 5.0? What's it called? Ninja.
That's very sought after on the Amiga.
Have you ever played Ninja 5.0? That's a brilliant game on the G.
Brilliant game, Ninja 5.0.
It's absolutely amazing. In fact,
Ninja Couple, Ninja Couple, Ninja 5.0, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not.
It's better than Shinobi. Miles better. It's brilliant.
Can I just read the first line of this? Z-Out is a horizontal side-scrolling shooter released on the Amiga and Atari ST by Rainbow Arts in 1998. It is the sequel to X-Out, adding
Crossout.
play.
Yeah, Crossout.
Yeah, it's actually cool. It's actually called Crossout because I call it X-Out. Steve always
Sorry,
corrects me, so-
that's what I was thinking of. Sorry, Eddie.
Did Rainbow Arts? Like,
I'm going to agree with you.
It wasn't quite right.
I've never had an Amiga either.
I
so
apologise.
No, did Turrican? They did Turrican, didn't they? Rainbow Arts.
Hang on.
I'm sure they did.
It is a new up and coming one.
Ooh, how much you pay for that one?
Well, that's an expensive game, that, mate.
Or is it one of the Steve's like hoard, part of his hoard?
Yeah, I've literally had to. It's 3 discs in the sleeve and all that. I've got the map and everything. It's that's one of the holy grails I've been after for a long time.
That is right. An amazing, like RPG sort of hack and slash.
It's great, isn't it? And
it's such a deep game, like, isn't it?
I used to love when you stabbed the monkeys.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember that?
They would love that too. Yeah.
The Amiga was really good at that kind of thing. It was a deeper experience, wasn't it? You could really.
It was for me. It was like almost like it was like very much like a sort of unofficial sequel to Barbarian because it was almost like
we had
Barbarian combat with a story, and you could even play like games of dice and things, couldn't you? If you remember,
with the map and that, you could go around the map, and then you ended up going to Stonehenge in the middle. It was really fucking good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a great game. It's not worth what it's not really worth the price it's sort of going for now. But I got it for I've done a really good deal with Cine Steve, which is.
He's got his Amiga collection is ridiculous, isn't it?
No, his collection is one of the best on YouTube, definitely.
In the world, it's got to be one of the best in the world, hasn't it? Surely, if not the best.
I always tell him Mr. Bads is better, but
well, between the two, but
in all fairness, Steve's got some cracking games, and what he does is he keeps all the best ones, so he buys Amiga bundles. And then sells the games on, but luckily for me and other people, he sells them not at the sort of like retail rate, but what he thinks is fair, which is more than fair. And we all get some great games, and he gets the upgrades and that, like, you know. But he knows we'll buy the games when he gets them.
His collection is second to none. Isn't it? I mean, Mr. Bads is fantastic, but Cine Steve's Amiga specific.
Slap out some horror games. Come on,
Yeah,
it's Halloween.
any
Horror.
horror games?
I've not got any Amiga horror. The only Amiga horror game I really want is Weird Dreams. That is that freaked me out. That game.
I think for some reason I've got
quiz
on
show.
64.
Do you remember that quiz show, Eddie? It was on
Motormouth back in the day.
Motormouth, that's it. Motormouth in the morning. Yeah, Weird Dreams. Yeah, I don't know if that was the ST or the Amiga version.
I suppose that is horror, isn't it?
It's horror. That's Halloween. That's fine. Yeah, that's
Do you know how much that costs? Do you know how much this? At the moment, there's versions of this on eBay for £500.
Fuck me.
Fucking hell, lad.
I didn't pay nowhere near that.
Mike, in your flat, seriously, how much are you sitting on?
I've spent over 60 grand.
No, but how much do you think you've got worth if you sold it around you?
Oh, well, if I really had to sell it quick, I reckon I get 20. But I don't know. You can't really say, can you? Because like the newer stuff devalues, doesn't it, a lot? So,
but do you think you're about 50, 60 grand there just round here?
I'd say if I had to sell everything quick, I'd probably easily hit 20.
No, not quick. No, if you just sold it for going rate.
I don't know. I'd say like 30, 40 maybe. Like, do you know what I mean? Anything between 20 and 40.
Yeah.
You know, because you're never going to get back everything you've paid for everything. You know, I've bought consoles brand new.
So
things
do
like
you, I mean, your flat and stuff, your setup, is it your own flat or what's your setup?
It's just my own flat. It's just a 1-bedroom place. Like, yeah. But it's just chaos.
I know Bristol's expensive, isn't it? So did you buy your own flat and that?
Ask him his fucking mother's name as well. Ask him what his sister is.
I'm interested in Mike because Mike's got one of the. No, Mike's got one of the fucking like really. He's got a broad collection of stuff.
I can see that.
Well, let's get on the horror games then.
Yeah.
Oh,
Eddie wants to get it already. You keep saying it over and over and over and over and over. Fucking get him on the horror games.
Get these fucking horror games out for the lads.
You're doing the horror stream. You need to get some horror games.
I'll check out the horror game. We'll go with the usual. We'll go Project Zero, shall we? There you go.
I hate that game. It's a camera. You snap something. Bullshit. Get rid of it.
Okay, you played that one?
Okay. That is. I don't know what that is. What is it?
It's Project 04, which never came out in the UK.
Never played. No. But I bet you snap things with the camera, so fuck off.
You do. Get rid of it. You do.
Yeah, get rid of it. It's ridiculous.
Is that horror? Did you say that horror?
No, it doesn't have to be horror, mate. Just Halloween. Don't worry about horror. Halloween.
Is fine. Aliens on the Spectrum, the new Russian release one?
Is it horror? So yeah.
It's fucking aliens. It's quite graphic, isn't it? So why not?
Eddie, are you a massive horror game fan? Is that why?
I love horror games, but I'm really bad at them because I'm very
bit of comedy horror, I suppose. A bit of trapdoor on the Spectrum.
Yeah. Why not? Halloween. Yeah. Why not?
So like what? I mean, you've covered your favourite horror games, but any that you want to talk about off the cuff?
Well, we're going to. We've got them in piles.
I got piles of games around me.
I've just got piles around me.
We haven't had
horror games.
Right? What about that?
I wouldn't have said there's that many out there that would consider to be horror games. Other than the ones that we spoke about, the Resident Evils and your Silent Hills and your generic shit like that. But
is this horror, Eddie?
What's that?
Yes. I would. Are you sending that to me? Are you?
No, this is part of me big sell kidney to get the games off Steam.
What is that?
So that is basically it's a shooter. That it's like instead of a spaceship, you're running around like as feet on the floor. I don't know. It's a very different style of game, but yeah, like it's
Japanese
all,
only, exclusive drive shooter and Undead Line. It's,
what's that called?
If you want to get rid of it, let me know.
Okay.
So this is just a. So I basically got these at years ago prices, like, you know. So these are worth a lot more than what I paid for them now.
I don't mind paying years ago prices. That's fine with me.
I've seen your collection. Honestly, your collection is absolutely amazing. And you did mention in your video you got a lot of it from Craig's Here Again.
Yeah, between Craig's Here Again and my Car Booty Man, like.
Yeah, you've got like
the better, like more unique stuff.
Well, to be fair, Eddie, you must be sat on a fucking shitload as well, man.
Eddie's sat on a second house, isn't he? Eddie's sat on a second house.
You've got a lot of displays as well. I've got 2 displays in my old games room that I need to get rid of, but are too expensive to post. But they're very good displays. For people who like Pokemon anyway, but I don't think anyone is.
Oh, are you on about like shop displays?
Yeah.
Do you want me to show you one that I didn't show?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
This is one I picked up, but
I was kind of supposed to give it to someone else, but you know.
Oh, holy shit! Look at that.
I can't see what it is.
Is it
God
of War.
It's God of War. God of War.
So yeah,
That is
were you supposed to give that to Retro Ghetto then?
maybe, yeah.
See what I know about Retro Ghetto.
Yeah.
I love Retro Ghetto's channel. He's a really good. He seems a really nice guy.
They're really good.
I had it like sort of like put towards him, but my car booty man wouldn't want to sell it. He was like wanted 100 odd quid for it, and then he said to me one day, he was really skinny. He was like, "Oh, give me 40 quid," and I was like, 40 quid, I'll fucking buy that.
See, I've got 2 displays from Pokemon that I would say they're expensive, but they're too expensive to put. Let me get them. Too expensive to postpone.
It's not that expensive, Post. We can get anything moved in the UK for a tenner, can't we?
I'm just checking it out there. You don't really want to tell people what you're sitting on, do you, in your house, on the internet? Everything I own's worth 50p. It's fine.
Exactly.
They can try and come round if they want. I'll enjoy keeping them out. Let's put it that way.
Well, Ross, have you got any shop displays or anything? Because I imagine you.
No, I've had chances to get them, but I have
Space,
no
isn't
use
it?
for 'em.
It's one thing. Do you know what? It's mad. It's one thing I've never got into, but they are sort of really cool. I mean, fuck me, I'm like sticking the dump in here as it is without fucking shop displays and everything as well at the minute. That's what I mean. I need to probably get rid of half my collection to be able to have it all sort of functional and usable. So I've just got far too much for the space I live in. That's why I think like
the way Eddie, the fucking beast, you need to get rid of about 500 games for the fucking that cunt.
If I wanted to get shop displays, I'd have to get rid of things like Chrissy's fucking see the Chucky doll here and stuff, and that's just cool.
They take up room. They do take up room.
I think Amiga games wise, I've probably got more than this now, but I think I've got 10 of the big containers of Amiga games.
Mike, turn the camera around so what you're looking at, we can see you looking at them. We need to see.
No, they're not. I'm just looking at a pile of fucking mess in front of me. The Amiga games are all over the house, mate. All over the house.
Right, okay, yeah. Okay.
They're not all in one space. They're piled up in the bedroom. Like you say, there's a couple of boxes in the bathroom.
They're big, aren't they? They're big. They're big.
Yeah, they're the what are they? 64-liter boxes.
No, I mean the Amiga games itself, they're big to store.
Oh yeah. That's the major problem with them is they take up so much space. But it's really weird because when we were kids, we never really owned the games. We just had copies of everything. But it's like when you become an adult and you can afford to pay, you can get these games, and initially we could get them cheap. You sort of wanted to get everything, like, you know, all the games you never had. You wanted the original boxes and cases, and they're very nostalgic from seeing them in the shops and things like that. But luckily for me and like anyone else who's collecting Amiga now, is Amiga stuff like has gone through the fucking roof. It really, really has. So
Well,
a lot of money.
A good point there. Like I think a lot of us we got seduced by the cheap games that we was picking up and stuff like that. But then they all run out, and then you have to then start getting the medium price games, and then it's. Well, they've all run out now. There's not many cheap ones, not many medium. It's then all the expensive ones. It's like, where does it stop?
This is how you hook on crack. The first few are free. So
it's plastic crack, isn't it? It's or cardboard crack. It's very weird, isn't it? The way I find collecting is like what you say is you start and then you sort of build yourself up to the expensive stuff, and then sort of the stuff becomes almost maybe too expensive, some of it, and then you just find something else.
Yeah. Same with the trainer stuff.
You just find something else.
Go back 10 odd years. You used to be able to get a nice pair of whatever that you like or you remembered or you missed on eBay, and it wasn't expensive. Now it's fucking hundreds of pounds, and it's exactly the same as what's happened with fucking games. It's social media. Everyone fucking knows now that they're expensive. So
The worst thing is, I get addicted to finishing sets of stuff. I found out the other day, just because I buy them at Car Boots or something random, I'm 10 away from a complete original Skylanders set. Do I want them? No, I don't. But I could complete the set.
Yeah, there's some money in Skylanders now.
But it's like with trainers and things, though, isn't it? Like you were saying there, there's trainers that are coming out that are limited editions or whatever, and there's only so many of them made. You could buy those and literally make a few £100 in like half an hour, couldn't you? Once they're sold out or whatever. It's
easy. But before they fucking come on, some twats have them on eBay. Like say they're £100. Some twats have them for £300, £400 straight away.
You should know, Steve.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Steve, have you got horror-based?
I don't do that, but
you should know.
Some twats do it.
Steve, have you got any horror-based trainers?
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
I know. Bawhawhaw has.
There should be some with some like liquid blood in or something, shouldn't there? Surely.
No, I don't think I have actually. No.
You haven't got any horror-based. Are you shooting me? Are you fucking shooting me?
Sorry, mate.
You must have like a Ghostbusters.
Sorry.
You must have something to do with horror-based.
Not on fucking training shoes, no.
Are you
Chris
joking?
definitely has horror-based shoes, but they're downstairs.
I'm surprised.
Actually, I might have.
I'm genuinely surprised at that.
If I had a pair of Nikes, I'll get them out. Any pair.
No, but you must have something to do with Adidas, to do with horror, Halloween, something. Adidas. Tomatoes, potatoes, whatever it is. I don't fucking know.
I fucking don't really like horror shit.
Ross, have you seen the Freddy?
Hold on.
Hey, Eddie.
Have you seen the Freddy versus? I think it's Freddy versus Jason or just Freddy vans that have come out. They're like got blood splattered all over them. Look,
I've seen them. Chrissy's always looking at them types of shoes.
We've just had someone join a horror stream who's admitted that he doesn't like horror. Steve, why are you on here?
Because you're all good lads. Banter. That's it. Doesn't matter what fucking day it is, does it?
That's true.
But you showed us some horror games. You must have some more to show us.
Anyway, the fucking never mind that. This shit that I've got down from top room.
Yeah.
These bloody displays that Eddie might. I mean, they're big. They're
Eddie, send them to me.
Shit, you'll not sneeze again.
You need to bring them this way, Carl. Bring them the other way because you're showing them off camera.
Show us the fucking doggo. We just want to see the doggo now. Yeah. Where's the doggo?
The massive. Pokemon
He's got one lab for sale.
Damn it, man.
He's getting right in shot. Rescue me.
We just want to see the doggo with us. No one's looking at the standees.
Come on, that's the Facebook prisoner of war.
I bet he's wondering, the dog's wondering what's going on. And he's just there, like, looking at you moving these signs up and down.
Yeah, Carl, I think you should give them to Al.
No, they're worth it. I'm telling you now, they'll be worth a bit then.
He'll give you a telephone.
You can't get these now.
I'll give you 50
on the screen.
I'm telling you, they'll be worth a bit then.
Any weird shit I get, just send to people. Like send Eddie random bum bags, proton pack.
Yeah, but the thing is, you made a box that good. It was like, how the hell am I supposed to like reply to that?
Oh, that good.
No, it was pretty fucking sweet. Like a fucking Half-Life head crab. That was awesome.
I've still got 2 of them.
That was nuts.
No, Al's got a game out. Look.
Is that any good? It looks good, that game.
I haven't played that, but along the same line, Chrissy is playing the hell out of the Predator one, like the Predator hunting.
Yeah, what is that? The Ghost Recon where you hunt the Predator?
No, that's in Wildlands. There's Predator hunting grounds. It's literally just like a team that goes in to do missions and get attacked by the Predator, or you are the predator.
Is one of you the predator then? And like so,
yeah. One's the predator, and the other is like a team sent in to like extract people or to do something.
Yeah, that's only.
Is it got Dutch and all that in, or is it just like random characters?
It has voiceovers of Dutch and stuff, but it is like random.
That would be cool as fuck. That'd be really really cool. Oh bollocks!
Does anyone know? Does anyone know if this is the online one?
It's multiplayer only.
That is online.
That is the online multiplayer one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks good though. That.
We'll play it.
I was hoping everyone's gonna say play Predator because Chrissy's at like a level 123 or something, and she's been playing. It was free on PlayStation Plus. So.
No, I wanted to get the Predator game, but it's only online.
It's
offline mode, which is
there's nothing offline. But it does play. It plays slightly like a campaign with what you've got to do.
Yeah, but I mean, you want something that will last if
it'll never last. But then again, the game I've been wanting to play for a long time, I bought today, which will never last, is Riders Republic. And again, that's another game that has no reason to be an online game, but it is.
What about this one though, Ross? I think you played this, haven't you?
I haven't played it, but I've got it. I sold that for a lot of money, so it's all good.
Okay, hang on. I've just seen another horror game. Hang on. I do have the box for this, but I keep all my carts separate, so I don't know if you can see this. Hang on. Let's have a look.
I'll probably leave when I finish my last beer because, like, literally, I'm blind. So
I do have the box. I do have the box for this, but if you
literally,
see that,
I'm blind. Nice. So I want to test that.
That's the PAL version. That's the PAL version as well, which is worth more money.
You can't see.
Demon Quest.
He's blind.
Yeah, it's a Demon Quest.
That's probably my most expensive game, I think. But the box isn't in great condition.
Mike, how much is that worth? Dan, come on.
In mint condition, 500 plus. But I'd say
is that mint? Is that mint?
No. Well, that's a Japanese version, so it's worth less.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. Yeah, it is. It's worth about 300 quid. Yeah.
What, for the Japanese version?
Yeah.
People think Japanese things
easy.
People think Japanese is cheaper. It's not necessarily.
Well, the reason the PAL version is worth more is because it got a really limited release. It was released right at the end, and I've got a feeling it's only Germany and possibly Australia. I don't know if it actually got a UK release, but my instructions are German and English.
It's not about the value, though, is it? It's about
no. I mean, I had to piece it together. I bought it with the box from Australia for 180, and then I had to buy the instructions for another 80. So it's cost me 260 to piece it together. Yeah. I'd say in the condition it's probably
like I feel bad with it because I've got plenty of games here that like way into triple figures and above, but like I get them, and then once I've got them, it's like in a collection. That's it. Like I'll play them for a bit.
It's almost like a 5-minute fix, isn't it? It's like I've got it now.
It's like that's fine. Then you feel good. Then you're like, there's another one. I need that one.
Well,
that's why I say.
Why don't you sell them if they're worth more than what you pay for them?
Where's the fun in that?
Because I'm a hoarder at heart.
It's just a question. I'm not criticising. It's just a question. Why don't you sell them? I always find that sellers they always look at these things and look at the condition and think, oh, I'll get this in this condition. Why do you get that thing in that condition? Why? Because it's worth more if you want to sell it.
I'm happy to sell things, but
why?
If I have things that if I sell it, I will never get it again, then I won't sell it.
I think for myself, it's almost like a bit of a safe investment, isn't it? So you pay for it and you try and pick it up in its best condition you can, and if you ever needed the money, you could sell it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, for like most of us with the sort of older sort of cardboard and things like that, it's all gone up in value. But at some point, it will hit a premium, and then it won't be able to go any further, will it? It will go down. So this is
I always think anyone who speaks to me, I don't think they've realised that I've collected older stuff for very long. Everyone thinks I'm like 360 and above, which just isn't true. So I've collected a lot of stuff from before.
No,
and, like,
there's that age-old question of are you a collector, are you a gamer, or something like that? You know what I mean? But for me, I just want to play him. I don't see the point in being any way, shape, or form, into gaming if you're not going to play them. You could collect thimbles, whatever it is. You could. If you're not going to play games, then get rid of them. I don't see the point of it.
I've played a lot. I've played probably well over 50. It sounds bad, but 50% of my games. I've got a lot of games.
Yeah.
I think Sean is hit it right on the head. Too many people in the community today are in it for the dollar.
I've been offered very crazy money for a certain game in my collection.
For it.
What's that?
Right.
Who's that? Who's murdered for it?
Al's murdered for it. He wants to collect the full set.
Yeah.
But you're sitting on money. You're sitting on money. You're not sitting on it to collect it so you can look at it on the shelf. You're sitting on it to see what value you can get in future years.
Right. I've completed a game in my collection. It's a very expensive game, but I don't want to sell it because I'll never get it again. And the amount I've been offered for it is pretty high. But to me, I want it because I'd never get it again. That it has no value.
What game is it then?
That's my point. That's my point. It's because with value, you're not bothered about the gaming aspect of it.
Oh, the game.
So he's saying that it's
no, that's his point. That's
collector. Yeah,
that's my exact point. He's bothered about what he can get in the future for it.
Oh no,
no, he's not. He won't sell it because he thinks he won't be able to afford it again.
Yeah,
that's what he's saying.
He doesn't want it either. He doesn't want to play it. I
have finished it. I have played it. I've played it to the end. I've finished it.
It's got nostalgic value for him. That's the one he completed. And that's the one he always had.
So he's not interested in it whatsoever to play it. Right. So that's my point. So in these days in gaming, right, you can play it via emulation, via a lot of means. In fact, they're bringing out so many mini consoles, your Super Nintendo Mini, and all this business. You can play these games, right? So you don't need to own them, right? So
it depends. It depends what price value you're saying on something that's worth something. Like if someone said this is going to cost you 200 quid, I'd be like, fuck me, I'll sell that 200 quid. That's nothing. That's obtainable again. Yeah.
Yeah, it's when you start getting into thousands of pounds games, isn't it? That's where it's unsustainable.
But we're not in that realm, are we? We're never going to be in that realm. So, well, Eddie,
there are things.
Yeah, but these people are collectors, though.
I'm talking into the four figures of something I wouldn't shift.
Yeah,
because I'd never get it again.
Yeah.
So. That's what I'm saying. Like I'd keep it for that reason.
What game is it? I want to know now. What is it? I'm intrigued.
Eddie's got the Eddie, show it. Eddie, you've got it. Show it. Eddie, get up.
Ross has got the most expensive game out of everyone here, like multi times over.
Well, the fucking shitty game. The fucking game.
What's he got? Stadium events or something like the US version.
That's one. That's the one. That's one.
What is it? Put it on big screen now. I can't see it.
It's boxed, sealed, complete.
What is it? Lower down, Eddie. Lower down.
Sengoku Anthology. So it's Sengoku 1, 2, and 3 that's on the SNK.
So what is that? RPGs?
No, it's like
it's a
brawler.
Oh, okay. What? That's like one of the most expensive PS2 games, is it?
Probably the rarest. Probably the rarest, not the most expensive.
Rarest, sealed.
Yeah, because Rule of Rose UK goes for more. Because people are
well, Rule of Rose is like what, between 1,000 and about 1,500, especially if you get the English version in it.
It's the English one, yeah. And
the game's shit though. It's genuinely shit. It's a great story, but the game is shit.
Isn't it like? Well, it's not. I don't know if it's a great story. That's the problem with it. It's a, like,
no, it's a great story. I played
story.
for it not long ago. It's a good story. It's a really good story.
So,
isn't it about someone getting raped? That's
No,
let's see the poo game. Let's see the poo game. Come on.
So that's that game. Look, sold 1,072.
Fucking hell.
That's why.
Yeah, I'll
that's why
tell you what, Eddie,
I don't get it with gaming and collectors. It is like I'm probably one of the people that are like against the grain and everybody bloody hates because I can't be doing with it with the collecting side of it because eventually you're gonna pick up something that is in good condition. Oh, that's very collectible to sell it future on. You're not gonna collect it. I just don't get it.
I intend on keeping stuff until I die. I genuinely do.
I know you do. That's my bloody point. So you're collecting stuff now to sell it in the future.
Right.
You're not collecting stuff.
Have you sold all your collection then, Cole?
All this is going to go to fucking
Yes,
charity,
I
mate.
yeah.
All of it.
So you now only play off emulation and PC and that?
Yes, Mike. So what's your point?
No, I just wondered. There wasn't a point.
I've crushed it. No, I have crushed it. I've crushed it. I've crushed what you were going to say. I have.
No, because I've got.
I'm a gamer.
I can tell you.
You're not going to collect thimbles if you're not going to
I've got a PC.
Oh, yeah.
I have a PC on Steam, and it's got hundreds of games. Yeah, that I've bought through Steam, and I feel no attachment to them whatsoever.
Good.
But I do with the physical games I've got.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you feel attachment to them?
We've got on the PC.
Why do you feel attachment to them?
Cole. What do you think about graded games?
Graded games are there to sell for a profit. Simple as. They're not there to be played.
Yeah.
They're there to be sold for a profit. That's a fact.
Yep.
Yes,
Am I wrong? Am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong.
Well, that's it. This game for me is sealed. Like, why do you need it anymore?
Eddie's got a point. You get that graded, Eddie. You get that graded. You know that's going to be worth more than what you put a price on it.
Would it though?
Yeah.
Yeah, but who in the UK?
Yeah.
Who in the UK grades games that have got actually any fucking merit?
Yeah. Well, the thing
None.
is,
there's a VUK games or something, but who are they?
Who in the UK buys graded games?
But rare games,
it's massive in America, isn't it?
Yeah, but
rare games, like when you get to
UK
graded territory, rare games are actually not that worth it. It's the ones that people know about because it's not people who are willing to shell out and don't care about that game. They care about the Marios and games that people know about.
What I don't like about grading games is the fact that it's not a set price to grade a game. It's like a percentage of the game's value to grade it.
Yeah,
that ain't right.
No, it's condition. It's
Right.
condition. It's condition as well.
Yeah, but to grade it, like if I was to send something off that's worth £1,000, it's going to cost like 250 quid to grade it. If I send something off,
that's right.
But for me,
you wouldn't send off a game to be graded that you wouldn't know that was in pristine condition because you know it's going to be worth that much value.
But
I watch American.
It's common sense, really.
The upfront for it is stupid. It should be a set price to get it graded. It should be just a service.
Yeah, because a graded one game is much the same as grading another, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to send off
same service. It still requires the same time and effort, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Although actually saying that there is like an insurance cost of some of this, but it's not like 250 quid over a 50 quid grading service. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that wouldn't be 200 quid.
So, I mean, I've bought these here with the sort of the thing of them going up in value. So that's a sealed Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I've bought a protective case for it at the moment. And I've also got a sealed because my friend had it, and we've done a deal on them ages ago, and I got these.
Why have you bought a protective case for it?
To stop it from getting damaged.
Yes.
Why is that? For what reason?
to protect it from getting damaged.
Yeah, for to sell it on.
Yeah, that's what he just said.
Yeah.
No. Is it to sell it on? That's my point. Bloody hell, that's my exact point.
And your point is what?
My
I said
point
I bought those, sell those on in the future because I believe they'll go up in value.
Yes.
What's the point?
So you're not a collector or anything like that. That's my point.
Of course, I'm a collector. I'm flat full of games.
No,
It's not all to sell. It's all like most of my stuff is nostalgic.
No.
Yeah. No, the thing is, I know
your stuff
what
is
you're saying,
nostalgic.
but
So
what-
Breath of the Wild for you is nostalgic when it's just come out. How is that nostalgic for you?
I haven't even played. I've got one that's open, and one that was sealed
How
came
is
up.
it nostalgic for you? Answer that
No.
question.
Well,
You
no,
just-
I said
you just
most. I said
it's
most.
nostalgic
I
for
said
you.
most. But I
Right,
thought
so
I
how is
said.
it nostalgic for you?
Well, if you let me speak, right? I told you, I bought that to keep for future. Like what you're saying, it's an investment. Yeah, I've got Breath of the Wild
To sell
open.
on.
Yeah,
'Cause
in the future.
you're not bothered about retro
But that's not.
gaming
I said
and everything.
most of my
You're
collection.
bothered about
That's
the
just one
value
little bit of it, isn't it?
to sell on.
Yeah, but
That's what you're
Carl, what he's got a second copy of it for his collection, and then a second one to
Doesn't
sell
matter
on.
if you've got a third copy, fourth copy.
I have 0 in my
My
collection
point
of a
is-
second copy to sell on. Everything in my collection
Yeah.
is just my collection.
It's like I've got for most of my Wii U stuff. A lot of it is unsealed. So to be honest, I'd probably sell the sealed ones and buy. I'd buy open ones because the sealed ones would be worth so much more than me opening them.
It's as a collector and a gamer, it can be a bit hard to find that fine line of do I open it, because sometimes that seal's worth like money, and it can kind of pain you to do so. So I do understand that, but somehow I will play that game even if it's sealed.
Yeah,
I've got ways to play them.
I've got one for
I've
you.
broke many seals. I broke the seal on Rule of Rose to play it. So
Right, hold on.
Did
Right.
you?
I've
crazy.
got one for you. So Mike's bought them games as an investment, yeah? He's gonna put that money towards probably more games in his collection, yeah? Later on.
Yeah.
No, has he?
Right?
Has he? No, whoa.
Right, no,
Nobody's
no.
declared that. No, has he bought those games declaring it as an investment?
Yes,
already
that's
said
what I
that.
told you before I showed you them.
Yeah.
So sell them then.
It's not worth it yet.
Why is it? How do you know it's going to be worth it in the future?
They've already doubled in
held up.
value since I've owned them in a few weeks.
No, so you don't know that.
But,
Yeah, but that's the
Carl,
risk, isn't it?
That's
When you
not
go
right.
to the casino,
Well,
you
like
don't know
with
what you're gonna
stocks
come
and
out with.
shares, like with stocks and shares, if you invest in a company, you can't guarantee tomorrow it's going to be worth.
You don't know that.
So Carl,
No,
you
no,
never-
but it's more than likely
In
that
this
the
day and age,
Nintendo
in
Wii
gaming
U
this
is going to be
day
the
and
last collectible system.
There is no collectability in this day and age in gaming.
I
The
don't know.
Wii U,
That's-
Wii U will be the last collectible system because it's the last system you can play the games off of the disc directly without a patch from the internet.
I've got a very important
Am I
question.
not right?
Cole,
Eddie, is that right?
No, the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation
No,
5.
it's-
Come on, Eddie. Every time you buy a game, you put it in and it
You're
did.
wrong, bro. He's right.
Yeah,
he's
but
wrong.
the
Come
thing
on.
is-
you can play it
but
without the
thing is,
patches.
Collectability isn't always
You-
about gaming.
But that's not
Like I bought the Crisis Remastered the other day, and it was about 6 hours before I could actually access the game. I was unable to play it without using the updates,
But
and I had to wait
you're
for it to
talking
do all the
about
updates.
collectability. Collectability isn't about the downloads. It's about what you remember about the game and how rare
On
is it.
PS4, you can have a majority of a collection that is worthless because you will not be able to play it off the
Definitely.
discs.
Definitely, but that
So-
doesn't mean collectability
Well,
wise.
you say it's worthless, but Seekers of Alduin on the
Yeah.
360 is completely unplayable, but you're looking over 100 quid for it now.
the most
Exactly.
expensive one.
It's just a disc.
The collectibility. You're talking about collectability and gameplay are two different things.
Do you not think they go hand in hand though? So like
No.
the Wii U, you can play off this.
No.
Without-
There's a Miranda in line.
You're Eddie saying they are two different things.
Yeah.
The majority of the PS4 library can be played off a disc and never with an update.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot of it, and I've got a lot of PS4 games. I've got nowhere near what I used to have. I don't think, but certainly
The
between
AAA
60 and
titles will not
100.
be worth money in the future. The ones like you're talking about will not be worth much money in the future. But like some of the stuff that you can probably play straight off the disc, because the smaller publishers that can't afford to push out updates, they'll be the ones that are worth money in the future.
But the PS4 and Xbox One version of Fortnite, the original one, it's worthless. It's all free. The entire thing's free, but that disc is still worth money as a collectible piece.
All right, I've got a question for Cole here. So Mike has bought them games as an investment to make money, yeah? So have you never gone to a charity shop or a car boot and found a game which you then traded into CEX to make money to buy for your collection?
No.
No? Never?
No, never.
Why not? You're missing out.
Because I'm not. I just never have. Simple as that.
But you must have bought stuff to get trading credits to upgrade.
No,
so you've bought...
I've never ever have. Do you know how many car boots I've been to in my life? Less than probably 5. So
so I've watched 50% of your car boot life then. So I've watched you do a couple of car boots on your channel, I think.
And Mike, I think you're a bit disillusioned here. Maybe you've had one or too many beers there, because you've never ever, and if you can prove to me that I've done a car boot, I will love it. I will love it. And that's my point to what you're
who
saying.
picked you up in the
It's
car?
all bullshit.
Who picked you up in a car?
I don't know, Mike. You tell me.
Was it Retro Dave Nintendo?
That's
it was. Yes, it was. So I'm not chatting bullshit, am I? I've seen a video. Go to a car boot with someone.
And what did I pick up?
Not much. It's about 4 or 5 games, wasn't it?
No, tell me.
Some
You've
DS
got the
games.
facts. Mike, you've got the facts. Tell me what I picked up.
Fuck me. How many videos have I watched since then, mate?
Mike, you've got the facts. Tell me what I picked up, please.
Some DS games.
I have games to show, but I ain't going to show them because I'm going to bugger off because I'm out of beer. Have fun, people.
What did you pick up? You tell me.
Mike, you've got the facts. Tell me what I picked up.
I can remember you went with Retro Dave Nintendo, who's now
What did I pick
Dave
up?
Arcade.
What did I pick up?
And you picked up some DS games. I remember. I couldn't tell you what ones they are. I've probably watched a million videos since.
Right, so now we've lost all our horror.
So what did you pick up then? Some Game Boy games?
No, you tell me.
I don't know, mate.
I know you don't know.
Right. We'll mute them for a minute. They can have this argument backstage in a minute. Because no one wants to hear them chatting about whatever they're doing. There's nothing horror left anymore. So I want to thank everyone for watching. Eddie's the only original guest left. So cheers, Eddie. Steve, thanks for coming on. Cole, give us a wave. Mike, give us a wave. Right, thank you everyone in the comments. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.